From the alley-oops at Keysaw to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback podcast time.
Chat, whoa there.
Whoa, chat's going crazy. I'm wearing my primetime player shirt because we need to get some primetime players tonight. Oh.
It's going to be exciting. No, man, I'm pumped for this. No Horst, unfortunately.
No.
We miss you, man. Get better. We were
Still
hoping.
on IR.
We were hoping he was day to day. He's still day to day. Hopefully he'll be back Sunday, ready to go for us. Getting the rest of our content out for you guys because we got a lot to cover, a lot of things to bring up here the rest of this week leading up until draft day.
Yep.
I mean, you've probably been on the channel this morning. You saw the video go live at 11. You're like, 11 a.m. video on a Friday? Don't we have a live stream tonight? Yeah, that's right. You got an 11 a.m. video. You got a live stream. We got Mock Draft 4.0 right now that we're bringing you. You got 2 or 3 videos coming out tomorrow, 2 or 3 videos coming out Sunday, 2 or 3 videos Monday. I mean, you guys are spoiled. I just got to say it right now.
We're going all in on the draft. We want to make sure that we cover every single thing so that way everyone can know kind of what is going on. There's so much conversation and so much stuff going on that we want to be a part of it, and we want you guys to be a part of it too. So we're going to bring as much content as we can. Let us know what you think about everything that we put out, and whether you agree or disagree, we'll have a nice conversation about it.
That's for sure. That is for sure. But we love that on this channel. More than anything else that we do is conversations with you, chat. We do Q&As every Friday when we do these, and we're going to have one tonight, too, as soon as we're done with our Mock Draft 4.0. But, I mean, let's be honest. The reason why you all tuned in early is you're waiting for this. You're waiting for Mock Draft 4.0. You're excited for it, and we're going to get it started soon. But, I mean, Ant, how do you think this thing's going to play out tonight? I mean, this is a lot of moves have been made this week, a lot of news and stuff coming out about guys that they've signed. Is this going to impact how we draft? Is this impacting how you're looking at it?
It has to. I think that early on in the process, even when we were way back in Mock Draft 1.0, the thought process was we needed safeties, we needed secondary, corners. And the 49ers have went out and addressed the secondary with safety help, brought back some corners. And then also now with the defensive line, I mean, bringing Arden Key, Hicks, the defensive line is pretty much set. I mean, it's hard to go and say they're going to take a defensive lineman early. So I think the only thing now is you just look for a value edge rusher possibly. But other than that, I mean, they're pretty stout. They have made sure they've taken care of all the weaknesses. I think there are still a couple of holes that they have, maybe depth at the cornerback position. And then also, I know we've always talked about offensive line, maybe a tight end. But, I mean, really we're starting to get down to the nitty-gritty. There's not a whole lot of holes. John Lynch and this front office have made sure they fill them. They have limited their draft needs, so now they can move around and take the best possible players. That's exactly the spot you want to be in when you're going into the draft.
And I think they're going to pull one of our don'ts. Like that's the feeling I have is they're going to sit tight with a lot of stuff. I would actually be shocked if they didn't trade back at 43. Now with the moves that they've made, I would be surprised if they didn't. I don't think they're going to go defensive line interior. They probably could go an edge rusher, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm not convinced. And like you and I have been talking about this too, and we were talking about this literally right before we came on air. We're both a little concerned too that McCorkle could still be their selection at 3.
Yeah, I have some unsettling feelings, especially after listening to John Beck on KMBR. When he is describing what Kyle Shanahan wants as a quarterback, the very first person that pops into my head is Zach Wilson, just by the way he described it. It literally describes Zach Wilson to a T. But then the second guy is Mac Jones. It's McCorkle. And it does scare the living heck out of me. I know there's some people in 49er land that are on the McCorkle train. I haven't got there yet. And it's going to be nerve-wracking until pick 3 happens because I just don't know what's there. And it kind of scares me a little bit.
No, it 100% scares me entirely. And Gary, by the way, you are correct. We are only Dante Pettis number of subscribers away.
That is true.
From 750, which is our goal by draft day. We want to be there. So those of you who are watching right now, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Help us get to our goal of 750 subs before draft day. Because on draft day, you're going to have glorious content. It's coming to you either way, whether we get there or not. But we want to be able to celebrate and have a little fun on air. So make sure you help us get there. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button as well, because it is time
Yep.
It's time to not choose Mac Jones at 3 because we control this mock draft 4.0, and it's not going to happen, folks. I can promise you we are not taking McCorkle at pick 3.
I think you're right. I don't think it's going to be McCorkle. But the question is, what is going to happen? If anyone watches Rich Eisen, you know right now he's already starting to panic because of these rumors that are coming out from Jason La Canfora about the possibility of Justin Fields going too. So it is nerve-wracking, and we don't know what's going to happen at 2 or 3. I would say conventional wisdom is going to be that it's going to be Zach Wilson at 2,
correct,
and then Justin Fields, Trey Lance, or Mac Jones at 3. We don't know what PFF is about to do to us right now, but we are going to draft accordingly by who's on the board, just like what's going to happen on Thursday.
That is accurate. That is accurate, and let's just hope that they're not reaching at pick 3. Oh God. Okay. All right. You know what? Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about what we're about to do right now. Let's get this thing started.
Let's get it.
Let's see what happens with the first couple of picks, and then from there we can decide what next steps need to be taken. Yeah. So Jacksonville most likely going Trevor Lawrence, unless barring something crazy happening.
There goes Trevor.
Trevor's gone.
I'm guessing Zach.
There
goes. You go.
So we're gonna get Justin Fields.
You're 100%. It's Fields. I know you don't like Lance as much.
It's not that I don't like Lance. Yeah. I'm not convinced.
Have you heard all the talk recently about Lance?
I have heard the talk recently about Lance.
There's a lot of momentum going about Lance. The fact that they asked John Beck to work with him personally. The one thing I will say, though, is the Beck interview, it didn't sound like he was over the top about Trey Lance.
Well, here's the thing, right? Lance stopped working with him.
Well, he only started working with them because the 49ers asked.
I'm aware.
But
the reason why they asked is they're trying to check all their boxes. And it's very obvious that Kyle Shanahan, and we had a video on this, so if you missed that video, once this live stream is over in a few hours, you can go check that out. Our video on if John Beck is the quarterback insider for the 49ers, which is, I think at this point it's confirmed.
It's confirmed, yeah.
So we were on this before a lot of people. It's confirmed.
It's confirmed.
He is the insider for the 49ers in the quarterback position.
100%.
It's pretty obvious that they're just trying to check the boxes. I don't think it's because they love Trey Lance. I think they just wanted to see, get John to work with him a little bit, work with John a little bit, and then John will give us feedback on whether or not you're a guy.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see it. And it's nothing against Trey Lance. It's nothing against him as an athlete or a quarterback. I think he has a lot of potential. I think that he probably has some of the higher upside for a lot of these guys because his athleticism is top of the class. It's up there with Justin Fields. And I think he does have a lot of room to grow and improve. But with that being said, I think Justin Fields has less growing that he needs to do.
Yeah.
I think he's closer to being ready than Trey Lance is. And if you're picking a quarterback at 3, ideally you want them to be ready right now.
Yep.
But the Niners have shown that they have said that that's not the case here. This person is the quarterback of the future. So if you're asking me which guy's going to get there sooner, it's Justin Fields, in my opinion. And I'd rather have the guy who's closer to being ready than the guy who needs a little more time.
Let me just say that I think this is a really close race.
Okay.
I honestly think that all 3 of these guys are pulling kind of close, and I don't think the 49ers have left a stone unturned to try to figure out who it is. I will go with you on this and say it's Justin Fields, and I will say that, unfortunately, I will not be shocked if it's any of those 3 that it is. But I think it should be Justin Fields, and so let's go Justin Fields.
Justin Fields it is. There at pick 3. So now the question becomes, Ant, what's next for us? Are we sitting pat? Are we waiting? I think we're going to wait here.
I think we're going to wait.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to trade up into the first round. I know that's what we wanted to do last time, but some of the moves that the 49ers have made have kind of signaled that maybe we should wait.
I don't disagree with you there. I think we should wait 100%. I don't think there's any reason to rush here. I think the moves that they've made make it seem as if the 49ers are going to sit pat, and I think we should emulate that.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah.
We don't want to wait too much.
I think we're looking through their prism to a point, trying to figure out what they're going to do.
Exactly. So Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle both go. Bam, bam. A little surprising that no one traded up into those spots to try and grab a quarterback, but hey, is what it is. Dolphins next. They go Penei Sewell. Another interesting pick there. Pitts to Carolina, I can see that. Trey Lance there to the Broncos, I can see it. Micah Parsons there.
It's a great pick.
Especially for the Dallas Cowboys. Anything defense for them is a great selection for the most part. Darrashawn Barrymore go. Caleb Farley. Mac Jones at 15 to the Patriots. If he falls all the way that far, that's a
He
great
won't.
pick. I don't think he will either.
Someone's going to make a move to get him.
If it's not the Patriots that move up to grab him, who do you think it is?
I think once he got to like 10, the football team or who picking Chicago. I think one of those two teams could go get him.
That's a good idea there. That's a good idea. Kadarius Toney, Jason Owe. Vera Tucker there to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Newsome off the board. I think they go, tackle here.
They had to go tackle
Absolutely.
after the trade today.
Absolutely.
And if I was them, I would probably go with another offensive lineman. If I was them, their center was not good last year.
I agree with you, but I am like 99% certain this pick is Zaven Collins here at 31.
I don't think so.
Ravens.
I think they're going to bypass.
No, I mean on PFF.
No, I know. I still think they're going to bypass.
On PFF, this is going to be Zaven Collins, almost guaranteed. Oh my Lord, it's Terrence Marshall Jr.
There you go.
All right, that's interesting. I like to see that there. Probably goes here then.
No.
Wow, look at this.
He's not going to go to like 34, 35. Oh, there he went right
to
there.
The Jets.
Yeah.
That's a great pick for them too if he falls there.
That's true. He could step in and play middle linebacker right away. Wyatt Davis went nice and early there.
And they go back-to-back line there.
Yeah.
The Dolphins did in this mock draft. That's very interesting. Devin Holland, good selection there for the Panthers. Alex Leatherwood, I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Najee Harris there at 41.
That's you know what? Okay, I'm a little surprised that Carolina took Najee Harris. This is the second time this has happened in one of our mock drafts.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you take Najee Harris with Christian McCaffrey?
Oh, it wasn't Carolina. Excuse me. It was Detroit.
Oh, it was Detroit. Okay.
Detroit.
Well,
that makes a little more sense.
That makes more sense.
A lot more sense this time around.
Okay.
I will
and
not.
The Walker Little thing, they've went offensive tackle back-to-back picks, the New York Giants.
Interesting.
Rashawn Slater and then Walker Little.
Very interesting.
That is interesting. They do like the big people. So.
They do like the big people. That is correct.
All right, so now we're sitting here at 43. Let's see what we got. Dylan Radins.
Not a bad selection there, but I'm not convinced.
Elijah Moore, big
Elijah
speed.
Moore. Yep.
I mean, if
Absolutely.
you need to go athletic receiver, Jamin Davis we like. Landon Dickerson we like. I think Lee McNeil I like, but they're not going defensive lineman now.
They're not taking him.
No.
There's no way. There's no way it's happening.
No way.
Creed Humphrey still there as well.
Yeah.
Travis Etienne still as well.
That is surprising to me that Travis Etienne is still on the board.
I agree with you.
I don't know if he makes it out of the first few picks of the second round.
I don't think so either, but he's there. Joe Tryon still available as well.
Yeah.
We do have 2 trades. Do you want to see what those are?
Yeah, let's see what the trades are.
All the way back to pick 70 and 72. That's a long way to go. That's all the way back into round 3. I mean, that's just asking a lot, and there's just not a lot of value. I mean, there's not as much value there at those spots.
I mean, would you rather pick at 43 or would you rather pick at 70 and what was it, 83 or 84? Because it all depends on who we want to walk away with.
Correct. I agree with you there, and I like Elijah Molden a lot here at 43. I think that's a good take. I like Landon Dickerson a lot here.
I like him. Yeah, I do.
This is honestly one of the situations where I wish there was someone that was a little closer, because I'd like to try and trade back, grab a couple picks, maybe get rid of some of our later picks, and grab Landon Dickerson in a few picks. But we're not going to be able to do that. We're not going to be able to trade back a few spots. We're going to have to go back deep.
Well, we could trade back to 70 and still come up ahead.
It's true.
And use some of the trade capital that from our back end because we just picked up more.
That's accurate.
So I would say let's trade. Let's see if we can negotiate a trade to 70. Let's try
70, 84.
And try to get 123 because they're coming up a long ways.
It's true.
And let's see if they'll take it, and then we can figure out what we want to do, where we want to strike, and who we want to get. Because we do have Creed Humphrey if we want to take an interior offensive lineman as well.
True.
That I am pretty high on. So
Yep.
Though both of those guys, we got Quinn Miners that's still there too.
True.
So we have 3 center options that are available that we can still go to, even though I don't think interior offensive line needs to be the move 100%.
I agree.
Because we have other guys that we can target.
There's still some corners that are going to be here and available. There's definitely some edge rushers still at this point that you can go get.
And at 70, theoretically, we could go, or even 84, we could target like Paulson and Debo, who we both want.
Oh, man,
so by getting this, the 84 will split that gap, and we'd only have to trade 70 and a back end pick to move up to get who we want.
All right, let's do it. Let's pull the trigger on this. Let's see if they bite.
They did.
And they did.
So we have moved back Where do you want to decide to trade up? To where do we want to try to get Dickerson? Or do you want to get Dickerson? You want to get Humphrey? We can wait longer on Humphrey.
Who would you rather have between the two? I would prefer Dickerson.
I would prefer Dickerson as well.
So then do you want to try and trade back up at 46 with New England?
We could.
Do you think he goes before then?
He could. That's the scary thing. He could go at any time now.
That's true.
But I think we set a target, and then if he is gone, we know we're okay with Creed Humphrey.
Also true.
We have Alex Mack. We don't need a starting guy right now.
Correct. You're looking for a guy to develop.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm looking for impact players. I'm looking for players that can make an impact on my team right now. I'm not sure an interior offensive lineman can make an impact on my team right now.
Unless it was Wyatt Davis.
Because he's going to start.
Yeah.
But I don't know, will Landon Dickerson start over Brunskill at guard? He could.
He could.
So that he could still make an impact on the team.
True.
But that's the only that's my only argument against interior offensive line.
All right. Well, let's take a look.
I know a lot of people are saying corners. I mean, that's the chat is saying corners.
Chat wants us to go corner bad. Here's the thing, though, chat. We know who our corner is that we want.
We do. We know where we can get him.
Yeah.
And really, the corners of value right now is what? Elijah Molden.
Mm-hmm. And as much as as much as I love Elijah Molden, as much as I love him, with K'Wan Williams back, it's not as pressing.
It's not.
It's not as pressing. Getting another outside corner to pair with Jason Verrett is pressing. It's extremely, extremely pressing.
And we could get Paulson Adebo, Kelvin Joseph, one of those guys at the picks that we just secured.
I 100% agree with you.
So, okay, so let's let
it roll 2. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Got it.
Ronnie Perkins. Don't you do it, Dallas.
Okay, Travis Etienne's off the board.
That's interesting there.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I see him going in the spot, but that's interesting that he goes there. Okay. Want to let it roll one more? Or do we want to pull the trigger on the pick?
Let's let it roll.
Let it roll one more. All right.
Oh, they went. Wow. Okay.
They went tackle.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
All right.
I get it. I just a little surprised.
A smidge.
Yeah. So let's see what the Patriots want to do.
Yeah. I mean, here's the crazy part is Elijah Molden is still there as well.
He is. Yeah.
All right. Let's go. 46. We're gonna give them what pick?
70.
Give them pick 70.
And I would say we probably try to offer them 180.
180.
Yeah.
Right there?
Yep, just see what they do. I mean, they'll probably say no. Now offer them 230 as a kicker, and then see if they take it. And they didn't. So we'll move 180 up to 172.
And leave 230 in?
Yeah. There you go.
Hey now. We get our center from Alabama, guy who could potentially start at right guard.
You see Dylan Radins is still there as well.
He is still there as well. Very interesting.
And Elijah Moore, an impact receiver.
Very true.
Those guys have slipped. I did not expect them to still be there. So we at least have to talk about it for a second.
Let's talk about it then.
There's rumors that Elijah Moore Shanahan's huge on him. Shanahan really wants him.
Then this could be a guy, right? This could be an option.
The only thing is, does anyone really know what Kyle Shanahan wants?
No. I don't
Did anyone know he wanted Brandon Ayuk last year?
Yeah.
Chris Sims.
And Kyle Shanahan.
And you know who else isn't telling Chris Sims anything any other time anymore? Kyle Shanahan.
No, it's because Chris Sims is intentionally leaving guys off his board, and so now people can watch.
Well, now
Chris
he's probably
Sims.
intentionally putting them on, confusing people. But yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's Dickerson or Radins, because I think you can get somebody of Elijah Moore's, kind of skill set later on.
I do agree with
Maybe
you.
not as impactful.
And here's the thing, people, if you've seen these receivers, just keep in mind, literally about 2-3 years ago, the NFL drafted them in 2016, I believe is what it was. The receivers, every single receiver that went in the first 2 rounds has pretty much flamed out of the league at this point.
Yeah.
They're no longer with their original team. 5th-year extensions weren't picked up. Most of them haven't done anything. The most successful of the first 2 round wide receivers in that draft was Corey Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't had a 1,000-yard season. He had a great year. I think it was his rookie or his sophomore year in the league, and then has since just flamed. And A.J. Brown took over in Tennessee, and now you see Corey Davis no longer with them at all. So there's no guarantee that any of these receivers on any given year, you could have first-round talent that just flames out. It doesn't work out, and your late-round guys are the guys that break out and shine.
Yeah, I think that we need to, either decide between Dickerson or Radins. Dickerson can play center or guard, and Radins can play guard or tackle.
True. It's true. Which guy do you believe has more upside? Because I think Landon Dickerson's more ready to play right now.
The only thing I can tell you is that Kyle Shanahan values players in this way: tackle, then center, then guard. So if you look at Radins as a tackle, then he holds more value. If you look at him as a guard, which I tend to believe he's probably going to end up playing inside at guard, then the center holds more value in Kyle Shanahan, the way that he views offensive linemen.
Oh man, this is tough. This is tough here. This is tough. I'm gonna trust your gut here. What does your gut tell you?
Well, who do I like better as a player?
Yes.
Because I'm going to ignore the whole fact that Dylan Radins has been working with Joe Staley and all that, and that right away that makes him.
He's the guy.
Well, maybe you don't know that for sure.
You don't know for sure, but I mean,
I would probably tend to go Landon Dickerson only because he could eventually replace Alex Mack.
Yep.
I would be shocked at this point if both those guys were still there.
I would be stunned too.
So, I mean, I say let's go Landon Dickerson.
I think we stick with our original target.
Yeah, we stick with our original thing.
All right, there it is. Dickerson is the pick, gentlemen and ladies.
And we wait for 84?
That's the question, though, now. Because there's still guys there. You still have, like you said, I mean, there's so much talent here.
I think when you're looking at it, who's the next target? Who's the guy we need to hit next? I think we need to get. We will for sure want to get Paulson Adebo.
Correct.
He's the corner that we like. It's either him or Kelvin Joseph that we need to get.
Correct.
Because we need somebody to play on, and be ready to go in this.
Are you thinking 70s then for that?
I mean, pretty close to 80. I mean, I don't think we'd have to move up very far to get Adebo if we're sitting at 84.
Okay.
But it all depends on if you want to get another edge rusher.
I mean, listen, grabbing a guy like Joe Tryon would be nice, but I'm also completely content with going Jordan Smith.
Later on, Jordan Smith, or even
100%.
What about Quincy Roche?
Or Roche.
Yeah.
Either one of those two, I'd be fine with later. As much as I love Joe Tryon, I think the moves the 49ers have made have shown that they like the core pieces that they have. I think they're thinking D Ford's going to be good to go, and they're just looking to grab some guys that they really, really are in love with that are going to have time to develop.
So I say we let it roll, and then the first guy, either Joseph or Adebo that goes off the board, we make a move up and get the other one. I mean, we can. If he's not pick 80, we move up and get him.
It's true. Dames, Mr. Horst is out with throat fibrosis, is what I'm terming it. Bad vocal cords.
Yeah.
Not feeling too great. He'll be back hopefully Sunday, so you guys will see him here coming up.
Yeah, basically he's had laryngitis.
Yeah, he hasn't been feeling too great. So letting him rest, keeping that beautiful voice ready for Thursday.
Yeah.
And the live draft show, because I mean that's important.
Right.
That's important. All right, we're gonna let this thing roll. We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully good things. Hopefully no one is a big butthole and takes
him early. I don't think he's gonna go that early.
No, I don't think he will.
We're gonna watch a lot of guys that we like go off the board, but
it's true.
There's a lot of guys. The 49ers have filled so many holes. It's like,
well, and we're sitting here. We are trying very, very hard right now to be realistic with this mock draft 4.0.
We are,
because the Niners have made moves now that are very. By the way, great pick for Pittsburgh with Elijah Moore there. They've made it very clear that they're probably going to sit back and just wait it out. Creed Humphrey goes, Fatu Melifonwu goes, Jared Weaver there to the Buffalo Bills.
It's a good value pick right there.
It is. It's a great value pick. Tyson Campbell, your favorite of the two Georgia corners.
It's true. He's way better than Stokes.
Stokes is falling again on boards
because they figured out that speed doesn't do enough.
Well, it's
you might as well call him Fabian Washington.
Oh my lord! I'm on Ross St. Brown to the Patriots there. I like that. Did they really just go Kyle Trask? They drafted a quarterback in round 1.
Trey Lance and now Kyle Trask.
Interesting PFF. Interesting software you got here.
Maybe Trask plays in year 1. I don't know. They still got Drew Lock, who's young.
I know, dude. If they I would be shocked if they go quarterback this year in the first round. I know a lot of Broncos fans are feeling it, and I think they're just falling out of love with Drew Lock, and I get it and I understand. You spent a first-round pick on the kid, though, man. You got to ride it a little bit.
Yeah.
He showed some promise in year one. I know the last year wasn't great, but it wasn't
Last
great.
year was terrible.
It was just bad overall, though, for that Broncos team.
True.
Just not good. It was just not good. There goes Joe Tryon.
Yeah, that one hurts.
That does. Davis Mills there to Carolina. That's a good option for them there here in the third round.
Yeah.
You don't get your quarterback early in the first.
Quarterback, Chaz Surratt. Used to be a quarterback.
He did used to be a quarterback. Fun fact, if you did not know
Dual
that.
threat quarterback.
He was a dual threat quarterback. Cornerback Sean Wade goes.
Okay, that's a little interesting. There
Eric
goes Stokes.
Stokes.
Here goes a run on corners.
Oh, lordy lord.
There goes Tillin Wallace.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
So neither one of them have went. So if they make it past Chicago, there we go. We
Can we trade back and get him?
I mean, he's down on the board, but it doesn't mean that he's going to not go.
Correct.
What are the trade options?
That's true. If
we do have two corners that
if
we
we
like.
only have to move back a few spots. Ooh, 90. That's a bit much.
That's 6 spots?
Yeah, roughly.
I'm down.
You're down for 6 spots?
Yeah, depending on what we can get.
What about 10 spots? What about Baltimore's 10? So you got 90, 119, right? 94 and 104.
I mean, do we really need more picks?
No, not really.
Yeah, I think we take a player right here.
You think so?
Yeah, I've decided that. I looked over and I seen that we still have 84,
102 and 117.
123 even. It's like,
Sure.
I mean, we have kind of the...
And we can package those last 3 together to try and come up and grab one more guy that we love.
Oh, easily. And you don't even have to package those 3. You know what I mean?
It's very true.
So I think we get the corner. We get a corner right now.
All right. I mean, listen, this is where...
And I don't care where he's ranked on there. I really don't.
Well, it's because it's based on the guy... Wait, did Paul Demo go? Oh, no, he's right here.
No, he's right there.
All right. Personally here, and this is personal, of everyone on this list, it's Paulson Adebo. It's not even close.
Yeah, I think it's Paulson Adebo over everyone else.
All right. So we're going
and
Paulson.
it would go Paulson Adebo, then Kelvin Joseph.
Correct. Those are my top 2 here. I do like Thomas Graham, part of the Bang Bang Hood gang as well.
I like him.
Big
Let's
fan.
be honest, if Paulson Adebo would have played in 2020,
he was probably going in the first round.
He's
close.
He's going to be in the conversation.
He's fringe.
He would have been more Greg Newsome conversation. I'll tell you that much.
Correct. I mean, the kid. Oh man, his film is so. It's euphoric. Watching his film is euphoric. It literally is. All right, Paulson Adebo here at 84.
Yeah.
This is the guy. This is the time. We're making the move.
Yep.
We got our corner, boys. We got our corner.
Well, we got one corner.
We did get one corner.
We might address it again, depending on who's available.
I like it. Pete Werner goes from Ohio State. Baron Browning, the better of the 2 linebackers from Ohio State, goes.
I agree with that.
Good old Chris Rumpf. Be interesting to see here what happens and who goes where.
Tyler Shelvin, big old guy. There goes your Brevin Jordan. So we're not going to get your tight end.
But we still could get Tommy Tremble.
We could get Tommy Tremble. That is correct.
And in all honesty here, 102 is coming up fast approaching. And the next linebacker that we like is still on the board.
Jamin Davis.
Jamin Davis is available.
So we could go Jamin Davis.
You still could go Kelvin Joseph.
We could go Kelvin Joseph and go back-to-back corner.
I mean, listen, and that's not a bad idea either here because, in all honesty, I mean, Kelvin Joseph is a freak athlete.
Yeah.
This guy is, he's crazy.
And could Jamin Davis make it to 117?
I think he could. I think he's more likely to make it to 117 than Joseph is, of the 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, the only other thing we have, so we know we want to get a tight end, probably.
We do want to get a tight end for sure.
We want to get a receiver.
We'd like to get a receiver, absolutely.
And
tight end, receiver.
And you said linebacker.
Ideally linebacker, right? Like ideally linebacker.
We have
maybe even a running back.
We have 6 picks. We can definitely get all that.
We can get all that. And maybe even a running back too on top of that.
Okay.
Because
Well, let's just decide. Do we want to go Kelvin Joseph and just lock down the corner position? Or do we want to go Jamin Davis? I think if you're talking to 49er fans, they think corner is a bigger need than linebacker.
I would agree.
Because of Nathan Jerry, Azeez Al-Shaair, we have 2 guys at least that have starting experience.
Correct. And I'd rather go with the freak athlete here and Kelvin Joseph at the corner position who can play.
Jamin Davis is a freak athlete.
I mean,
too.
I know he is a freak athlete, but like I said, of the 2 of them, if you ask me which one's going to fall, I think it's going to be Jamin Davis.
I agree.
I think there's less teams looking to go linebacker here.
I agree.
So Kelvin Joseph it is.
Kelvin Joseph.
Kelvin
Let's make sure
Joseph.
that our secondary is on lockdown.
Secondary is locked down, folks. There's the pick. Kelvin Joseph from Kentucky into our secondary.
Could we be taking another Kentucky guy
We could be
with
going
our
back.
next pick?
Could be going back to back. We'll get the back to back plan.
There
There
goes
goes Quincy
Roche.
Roche.
So
We do need to start thinking about edge rusher if we want to go edge.
we could go edge rusher. There goes Myers. That's Gary's center that he loves.
It is Hunter
I
Long.
watched some Myers film today again.
He's
Not
good.
bad.
He's
It's pretty good.
He's pretty solid.
Was one heck of a guard prospect for
Mhm.
those that
Oh,
don't
and
know coming out of high
Here's
school.
the thing: if Justin Fields is a quarterback too at 3, you may want to pair him up with a guy
could
that
make
is
sense.
familiar with.
There's another
absolutely.
guy that I'm really high on, Amir Smith-Marset.
Yep, and look at that. Jamin Davis falls. Could he fall even further?
He could.
I think he could. So now the question is what do we want to hit here? Because we said we want to go tight end. We said we want to go receiver.
Yeah.
Tight end, we want to go receiver.
Jamin Davis. I like Cade Johnson.
Okay.
I like him too, the receiver.
South Dakota State. Okay.
He's super fast. I mean, he's got a lot of ability there. So he's somebody I'm looking at. Of course, I like Tommy Tremble.
Absolutely.
With the retirement there, Simi Fioco is a guy that we're definitely interested in.
Absolutely.
So I think those guys could be targets here at 120 or 117, and then we got
You still got
123.
Yep, and you still got Cornell Powell coming up. You still have Justin Hilliard is a guy who's starting to come up on our boards a little bit for the linebacker position as well. So if we want to go linebacker, we can still wait.
Yeah,
There's a nice defensive interior lineman that we're not going to draft because the Niners,
they don't need a defensive line.
they don't need it at all whatsoever. Okay, what are you feeling here?
To be honest with you, I'm leaning towards getting Jamin Davis now.
Same.
And just making sure that we lock in that guy. We've taken care of the secondary with 2 corners that are very good.
Correct.
We've already got an interior offensive lineman.
Got our quarterback.
And I got our quarterback. As far as needs go, this is kind of the last need that we need to fill.
Mhm.
So if we do it, then we know that, and it's not even a huge need because we got Nathan Jerry that they signed and Aziz Al-Shair. So
This is right here specifically and specific like just this is luxury. This is a luxury take. This is making sure that no matter what, you're going to have 3 solid linebackers on the roster who can rotate in and play.
I think we'd have a bigger argument if Smith-Marset was still available.
Yes, I agree with you here because I'd love him here at 117.
I would. That's where the big argument would be. But because he's not there, I do like Cade Johnson. But I think there are guys similar to him later in the draft that we could still get.
Agreed. And my favorite receiver, as you know, is still on the board.
Oh, Marquez Stevenson.
Yeah,
You're right.
The marquee is still there. And there's still a lot of guys even later than that are
There are.
And Gary's already spamming the TJ Vasher in the chat. I love it, Gary.
Well, Gary wants Jamin Davis. We know that.
Yes, he does. And I've seen a couple other people, Dames Daniel, who it looks like it's his first time here as well. So shout out to you, good sir. He's saying Jamin Davis as well. I think this is the guy. This is the guy we were hoping was going to fall here anyway.
I don't know how he's still here, to be honest with you.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I will too.
Thank you so much, PFF. Appreciate it. Jamin Davis here at 117. It's a done deal. We got the man. Back-to-back Kentucky guys, and we're picking again at 123.
We are. And now the question is going to be who's going to still be available.
And what are we doing exactly? Where are we going with this? Hayden Stearns to the Pats. I could see it. He fits there. Jalen Darden off the board there, another wide receiver.
So we still have pretty much the guys we were talking about before.
Correct.
Tremble, Cade Johnson. Those guys are still available. Those are options. Those are the guys that I'm leaning towards.
I would say of between Johnson and between Tremble, I've watched more film on Tremble than I have Cade Johnson. I think Tremble has more potential day one impact than Cade Johnson here because he can go in on 2 tight end sets and in the red zone.
Agreed. I agree. I'm down with that. I would go Tommy Tremble. He's my favorite tight end prospect besides Kyle Pitts. So
yeah, it's a big gap. Obviously, there's Pitts like way up here, and then there's some space, and then Tommy Tremble.
And we're gonna have 3 picks left.
We are.
So we know we want to get a wide receiver, and we want to get
correct
possibly a running back.
Possibly a running back. So let's look at the wide receivers and let's figure out some guys we want to target. You got Cornell Powell that we like.
Amari Rogers.
We still like Amari Rogers. It's correct out of Clemson.
Simi Fioco. I like him.
Fioco. Shai Smith.
Shai Smith later on.
Absolutely.
So the question is, do we want to get... There's Marquez Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to get 2 receivers? Do we want to get 1? Because if we're only going to get 1, we could always trade back up. We could take Tremble now, trade back up, get a receiver that we like, and then still have, we could play with the other pick.
True.
Or do we want to take 2 and just wherever they fall, pick the best 2 guys and then pick someone else for 194?
I'll be fine with that also.
Okay.
I'll be fine with that also. This is puzzling. I think both of us are a little thrown off. And I think it's mostly just because of all the stuff the Niners have done this week.
I'll be honest. The 49ers moves as far as the way they've secured the defensive line and the way they signed Wayne Gallman, I think has kind of changed the perspective of the way that you're looking at the draft.
Yeah.
Because they've taken care of needs. And now that we've addressed some of them, it's like, I mean, what it's really proving is it's going to be hard to figure out how the 49ers are going to make 9 selections in this draft.
And what they're going to target with those 9 selection, like what positions you're going to go with, right? Because, I mean, most of it's luxury.
Yeah.
Outside of quarterback, I would say outside of quarterback, an O-line pick, and a corner pick, outside of those 3 positions, everything else feels like a luxury.
Well, it all feels like you just get an impact player. Somebody you feel can make an impact right away.
It's true.
So that's what we need to look for is guys that can make impacts. I think we all believe that, like, I'm looking at that list, and I see Fiocco as a big-time speed receiver. He can make an impact. Mm-hmm. Amari Rodgers is a 4-5 guy, but he's close to Deebo Samuel style.
Dude, and he's wonderful in the slot also.
He is
fantastic in the slot.
So, I mean, where do we want to go? Do we want to get Tommy Tremble right now? And
I would say that is my gut feeling. My gut feeling is Tommy Tremble here.
Okay, let's go Tommy Tremble, and then let's pause it and figure out if we want to come up and get a receiver, if we want to sit pat.
Okay, so let's just target 3 wideouts right now that we're thinking about.
Okay.
Simi, correct?
Yep.
Amari Rodgers.
Yep.
You want would you rather have Shi Smith or would you rather have Marquez Stevenson?
Well, we can get either one of them later. I think we can get either one of them at 155.
So then let's just focus
on those
on
are waiting guys. If we're coming up, we're going to have to get one of the other guys.
All right, 111 and 128 then is roughly where they're ranked. So let me put that down. I don't want to forget.
Yeah.
128. Okay. We got Simi Fiocco that we're going to target, and we got Amari Rodgers that we're going to target here.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I think so.
Okay.
They're both guys that can make impacts down the field.
So once one of them goes, we make a move?
I think that'd probably be a good idea.
All right, let's do it then. Let's do it to it, Lars. Let's do it to it. Tommy Tremble.
Yep, number 1 tight end there.
Look at him. So cute. Horse knows everything about him. I don't know if you guys knew that. Chat. Did you know that Horse knows everything about Tommy Tremble? Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Literally everything. Here we go. Tommy Tremble here at 1-23. Great value here. Shoring up that tight end position. Simi Fiocco and Amari Rodgers. Those are the 2 names we're looking for now because we want to go wide receiver next. As soon as one of them goes, we are making a move. I would be shocked if we got all the way into the 150s before one of them went.
I think we have a possibility of Rodgers making it there.
I agree.
But
there goes Dax Milne.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I'm still surprised Dax Milne is 4th round.
He's pretty high up there. I have some concerns about speed.
I'm surprised Tamarion Terry is there. He goes.
All
so right. we now need to decide if we want to come up and get a Rodgers.
Tampa Bay here, I could see them taking him. I can see them going wide receiver here.
Yeah,
100%. Now the question is they going to go Cornell Powell first, or would they go Amari Rodgers? I think Amari Rodgers fits a lot more teams' needs than Cornell Powell.
Probably, but we still have Shi Smith that we could play with.
True.
We have some other guys that we could adjust to if we want to. How much do you value Amari Rodgers? That's the question.
I do like him a lot. I don't talk about him a lot, and the reason I don't talk about him a lot is he's a name that gets brought up a lot. Played at Clemson, played at Trevor Lawrence. People know who he is. He's a really, really good player.
Yeah, he's a really good player. Built like Deebo, roughly the same speed, same stature.
It's true.
He looks like a running back that plays receiver.
But he doesn't run like Deebo. That's saved for a specific guy that's coming up in a future episode.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Y'all need to be, if you're not subscribed, you need to hit that subscribe button right now because you don't want to miss us talking about Deebo Jr. You don't want to miss it. It's coming up very quickly. Very quick, like in the next few days.
And very few people know who he is.
No, like nobody knows who he is. And his film is incredible.
So, I mean, the question is, do we want to... We have 155, 180, and we're really only needing 2 players, right?
Correct.
So, do we want to package 155 and 194 to come up and get Amari Rodgers?
I'm down with it.
All right, let's do it.
I'm down with it. Right now?
Yeah.
Right now? With the Tampa Bay Books?
Just don't take any chances.
I like it. For 137.
Make sure... I mean, that's a lot of value to give up to go up there, but...
It is a lot of value to give up to go up there. Why don't you guys give? No, we don't want another pick. All right, here we go. Offering the trade. See what happens. They took it.
They took it. So
Attaboy.
get Rodgers.
Let's get our receiver that we want. Boom.
Now we have somebody. We are definitely okay if we have injuries
Correct.
because he's there. He's able to help us out and get what we need to get done.
I agree.
Kylan Hill. Okay, I like it.
Great selection there. Great selection.
Yep, I really like Kylan Hill.
Absolutely.
So now we got 180, and I'm guessing I have an idea what you want to do.
You think so, huh?
Maybe.
You think you got my mind all figured out, eh?
Maybe.
Let's hear it.
Well, you said running back earlier, so
I mean, I would love to go running back here. I would love it, but at the end of the day, let's be real here. Are they going to even do it? I don't think they would. I think they're gonna target a guy like Debo Jr. We won't even say his name because we don't want to give it away. Debo Jr. I think they're gonna go after him as maybe potentially an undrafted guy or late in the draft, like 7th round.
Yeah, they could. I mean, they really could.
I mean, I just don't see them going running back here. As much as I would like to go running back, and there goes your boy Demetric Felton.
Yeah, Demetric Felton has definitely fallen on boards, which is crazy.
That's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Benjamin St. Juste goes 161, round 5. I feel like that's a fairly good spot for him. Trill Williams right after that.
Big Low Country Sports is doing some research for his Falcons.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Ooh, Hama cover shade. You know what? You know a name I haven't seen up here?
Jordan Smith.
Jordan Smith, my dude.
We definitely could target Jordan Smith. Are you sure he hasn't went yet? I'm surprised.
I don't think he's gone yet. I haven't seen that name.
Oh, man. And we've traded away the capital. We don't have anything to go up and get him.
That's all right. Let's hope he falls. Continue to fall. Jonathan Marshall in round 5. Holy shnikes.
That's a good pick.
It is. That's a really good pick. Oh my. There's David Moore, horse guard. DeMar Hamlin. Dude, I think he's here.
There's still a lot of good players.
I think he's here. No, he's not here. All right, he's not here.
I was going to say, there's no way
He's
he
not
lasted.
here. But there are some good edge rushing options, including Janarius Robinson.
I like Janarius Robinson.
Correct.
I mean, I do. I like him.
It's also Raymond Johnson. We could trade back.
I wouldn't take Raymond Johnson at 180.
We can't trade back. No one wants to trade with us. So we are stuck here. We are picking. Drew Dahlman, center.
We
already
went center.
We could honor Horst with a Puka Williams.
No.
I know Caleb had already said that we needed to do that for Horst.
No.
Probably not.
It's not my fault. His throat sucks.
We could go Sean Davis, a safety corner hybrid. I know you don't like him because he catches with one hand, but he is rangy.
We already have safeties that don't get that many turnovers. Why do we want a guy that doesn't catch with 2 hands?
Listen, but he catches them with one hand.
I do like it. I do like his range.
His range is stupid.
It's fantastic.
It's stupid, dude.
I just don't know. I don't know if he fits the system with the stature that he is.
Correct. Do we want to spoil ourselves with another receiver and Shi Smith?
No.
I don't disagree with you there.
I mean, we only went one receiver, right?
Correct. We only went
so
one.
We could go a second receiver.
We could go a second receiver here. You could go edge here and spoil yourself. You could go with Sean Davis as a hybrid guy who could play in the nickel.
Yeah.
The nickel packages and could play at the safety spot. Oh, no. What am I missing? Chat, what are you doing?
Tommy Huxley.
Tommy Callahan. I'm Tommy Callahan? That's rude. Or is he talking about the other horse? Is he talking about that horse? Is he talking about Horst or me?
I think he's talking about you.
Tommy, that's, I'm not going to lie, Tommy, that's, you haven't been coming around as much. I haven't been missing you on the live streams, and then you put that on me. You throw that on me, my dude. I'm sad now. I'm crying a little bit inside. I don't think you can go too much further down the board here. So no. I think we'd have to spoil ourselves at wide receiver.
I think it's, Cornell Powell or Shi Smith.
I mean, if we're being honest here, I think it's Shi Smith, right? I mean, it's a guy that Debo's familiar with. Came from a similar system, similar coach. We all know how.
Except we just got Amari Rodgers, and Shi Smith is a similar player.
It's true.
Where Cornell Powell is more of a possession receiver.
Correct.
The only thing that bothers me about him is there's not a lot of separation.
No, he's more of a physical presence.
Where Shi does kind of the special things like the reverses, the fly sweeps. But he's 5'10", so I mean that's the question. But I mean really, Kyle doesn't care about size.
Also,
he really doesn't.
Or do we go with your boy Javion Hawkins?
I like Javion Hawkins.
And reach here and take this running back. I know that he's falling down a lot of boards and he normally wouldn't go in this area, but this is the only pick we have left, right? And if you're going to spend it, you're going to spend it on someone you love.
Yeah. I don't know if I would go running back. I think with Gallman, I just don't think we're going running back.
I agree with you. I don't think they are either.
Yeah.
I just figured I'd throw it out there. Give you a little more to contemplate.
Trust me, I was thinking about that. If we'd had pick 194, that's kind of where I would have been thinking about him. But like you said, I like the guy, some of the undrafted guys. The guys are going to go undrafted. I like them at the running back position. So I don't think we have to go running back. So it's either edge rusher or receiver.
Yeah, it's one of the two, right?
I think it's either Janarius Robinson
or Shi Smith. Man, that's tough.
So
choice.
let's look at the receiver position.
Okay.
No, not on there. Just like what the Niners have. Let's think about it.
You got Debo.
They got Debo, Ayuk. Then they have...
you have Jalen Hurd coming back from injury.
Yes. You have Jawan Jennings.
You
have, what's his name coming back from the COVID break?
Travis
Benjamin, thank you.
Got you.
You have those guys, and then you have a plethora of other guys. Mohamed Sanu.
It's true.
Kind of just guys that are... I mean, do we expect Mohamed Sanu to show up and be a starter this year, or to get extended depth, or just to be a camp body?
I don't think you bring him in to be a camp body. I don't think that would have happened, because he did look better at the end of the year with Detroit. I think he got brought back in because he wasn't healthy and wasn't ready at the start of the year when the Niners signed him. They were hoping he was going to get there, and then the injuries started piling up, and they were like, "No, we got to get rid of you. We got to start making some moves. We got to free up some roster space because we got to get some depth at these other positions." And so they did what they had to do. Went to Detroit, looked better. And Shanahan's like, all right, well, it's time to bring you back in because I wanted you here to begin with in the first place, especially with a guy like Emmanuel Sanders gone.
Yeah.
They wanted that veteran kind of slot guy in there that could go in there and be like a security blanket who knows the system really well and, can help these young guys learn. So I think he probably is a guy who's going to make the 53. I think a guy like Travis Benjamin is on the out. I think he's got less and less of a chance. You don't think so?
No, I think Travis Benjamin is more locked in.
Really?
Have you watched a lot of film with Travis Benjamin?
I've watched a good amount of film. It's just, and this is the problem, right? I watched Travis Benjamin, especially when he was in San Diego. A lot of San Diego Travis Benjamin, and he's just hit or miss.
Do you watch him in Cleveland?
I watched him in Cleveland. He was a lot better. Here's the thing: Shanahan does this with receivers, right? Like, as much as everyone talks about Shanahan being the running back kind of guru, he does this with receivers. Taylor Gabriel's best year was with Atlanta.
Yeah, but who would Travis Benjamin be with?
He's with Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
And he's got that top-end speed, and he is a better route runner than, like, Marquise Goodwin.
And here's the thing. Day one, Travis Benjamin's probably a little more polished and ready than Shi Smith.
Agreed. I mean, the other thing to think about is would Janarius Robinson be able to make this roster?
Man, that's tough. He is fast, though.
I know, but, I mean, you got Arden Key, who was a third-round pick.
No, he was a first, wasn't he?
He was a third-round pick.
Was he a first?
LSU, yeah. Okay. In 2018.
That's right, it was 2018.
Janarius Robinson is not on that level. He's more developmental.
Correct.
So, which guy has a better chance of making the team? Probably Shi Smith, because Shi Smith is a elite player about finding the ball.
True.
So, I mean, in that regard. Now, we know I like both guys, so this is a hard choice for me.
It is a very hard choice.
But I think if I'm thinking through the other prism, that you go with a guy that can make more of an impact.
You'd go with Shi Smith here.
I think so.
And he fits what they're looking for at the wide receiver position.
I think so.
Gary, we're not taking another quarterback.
Did Stevenson get drafted?
He's still on the board.
So do you want to go Shi Smith or just Stevenson?
I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, I would love to go Marquez Stevenson, the marquee, but he's fallen again. PFF has him down here. It doesn't make any sense for us to grab him here at this spot. It's just it's not reasonable. It's not. Wait, did someone take it? Wait, did he get taken?
Yeah, he must have got drafted. That's what I figured. He probably got drafted.
Sweet. Someone else did it for me, so I don't have to do it. All right, thank you, team. Who was it? Who was it? Just for curiosity's sake, who was the team that reached? Was it the Raiders? I was to say, who was it and why was it the Raiders? Jacksonville.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Makes sense a lot. A lot of sense there. Okay.
Let's go Shi.
I agree. Let's go Shi Smith right now. Get it done. Where you at, my dude? Where you at, my dude? There you are, my dude. Look at that. We got a receiver. We have no more picks.
Yeah, I think now we just sit on it.
Oh, we get to just relax and see what happens here. Chat, what do you think PFF's going to grade us at? We don't really care, but we want to hear from you. What do you think we're going to get on this? Is there anyone that we missed in this mock draft that we should have got, chat? Let us know about that.
Know.
Also, while we sit here and let these things roll, I feel comfortable with this, but this is one of those things because with Mock Draft 4.0, with this one,
Yeah.
we wanted to be specific about trying to stick to a 49ers type game plan.
Right.
Things they're going to try and do in the draft, things we think they're going to do in the draft. No defensive line. Probably not going running back. Specific on wide receivers late. Maybe or maybe not an edge rusher. We didn't go edge this one. I think this is the first time either one of us has not taken an edge talent.
I think because they added Arden Key. You know, I mean,
Yep.
they still talked to Ronald Blair, and I know that signing never became official, which means he probably wasn't all the way healthy yet. They weren't happy with, you know, what it looked like. It's probably going to be one of those come back in a little bit, and they'll probably sign Ronald Blair, and they're definitely not going to need an edge rusher if that happens.
No, they won't.
So, I mean, I think defensive line and edge rush is looking out. I mean, they added Zach Kerr to the defensive line. That
Sure.
guy's a beast. You know, they added Hicks from the Raiders. They just don't need it. I mean, that's really what it looks like.
No.
You know, we went into last year and everyone's like, oh, Darion Daniels on the practice squad. Looks like he's going to be something. Guess what, guys? Darion Daniels might be on the practice squad again because
That's nuts.
this
dude.
defensive line
That's
is Zach Kerr is rough.
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't watched film
The-
on him,
the
that guy
Niners,
is rough.
The Niners have done something that a lot of teams I haven't seen a lot of the teams in the NFL do. They didn't target the big free agent names. They went out and just made sure that they are deep.
Yeah.
They are deep. They are taking guys who are looking to revitalize their career. They're looking for one shot at a big dance. They want a ring. I think what they have now done with the defense is they have built a solid core group of guys who know exactly what they want. They want a championship, and they're willing to sacrifice everything in order to make it happen.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
These guys have limited their needs in this draft by great free agent moves, and who knows if they're done.
And I don't think they are.
Yeah.
I don't think they're anywhere close.
And I think that if they ever feel like they need to make another big move, they still have the arsenal to do it.
You can say that again.
They're not playing around. They're making sure they try to win a championship here in the next 5 years. That's the window. Rookie quarterback, that's the window.
It is. And you know what? They can get it done next year. Your boy Javion Hawkins, 244 to the Washington football team.
Yeah, I would love if he went undrafted.
I would prefer it too.
Yeah.
Because we all know Debo Jr. will be there.
Yeah.
He'll be there.
I would actually take Debo Jr. over Hawkins after watching his film.
His film is nasty.
I can't wait for
bro.
people to actually hear
hey, just wait till we bring up his name. I think the video comes out Sunday, correct? If I'm not mistaken. Our video releases Sunday on that. So you want to be here for that. You want to be here. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. There's your boy TJ Vasher, Gary. Look at that. He goes right there at 255 to the Saints. That's a good spot for him. That's a good spot.
I'm going to guess we get like a B+.
Oh, look at that. Nice fat A+.
Of course, we
there.
took quarterback.
Thank you.
We're going to get wrecked for Landon Dickerson. We got the A- for the two corners.
I like it.
Tommy Tremble, A-. Okay, we got a lot more A- than I thought we were going to get.
I agree.
We got A-. We got A- overall.
Look at that.
I'll take it. I thought we were going to get a B+ for what we were doing.
I thought we were going to get one too.
Once again, PFF hates trade-ups. So anytime you trade up, you're going to get nailed for it.
You are 100% going to get nailed for it.
I mean, really, they don't like trades. But we did the mock without trades, and I just think it's not as realistic anymore. You know what I mean?
Correct.
The Niners are going to make some moves. It's just they're too aggressive not to.
You're not wrong there.
Yeah.
You're not wrong there. Tommy, are you trolling right now? At least Atlanta destroyed the Raiders. That was awesome. I mean, listen, yeah, it's always nice.
It is always nice.
It is always nice.
Be honest, the Raiders feel less and less like a rival than ever before.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Is it?
It's the end of an era.
I kind of enjoy it. It got old.
I mean,
I'd rather just hate the Cowboys, Rams, and Seahawks.
this is true. You're not wrong there. I give you a B-. I changed my mind. That's not very nice, Tommy. That's not very nice.
It's okay.
We always support you, my dude.
I'm okay with a B-. I'll live with that.
It's true. We only have 5, 6 would be an even number. We already have Rosen. That's a big old yikes. Shannon doesn't care about
Who
size.
said we have Rosen?
Oh, it was Robbie.
Oh, okay.
It was Rob. He's trolling.
He is.
Yeah, I hope so. 'Cause we don't talk about Rosen on this channel. This isn't the Cone Zone.
I'll tell you, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when all the cuts happen. Somebody's getting cut. I guarantee a quarterback named Josh is getting cut.
I mean, yeah, most likely.
Yep.
I mean, most likely. Chat, how do you feel about the draft? What do you guys think? What did we miss? Did we miss on anybody that we shouldn't have missed on? Anyone that we should have gotten? How are you feeling about it? Yeah, I mean the big thing is with these kind of drafts, especially with this mock draft 4.0, it's just really hard to know what was going to happen, like what the Niners are going to do.
Yeah.
I think now outside of picks 3 and pick 42, excuse me, I think outside of the first 2 picks, round 1, round 2, there's really not. I don't know what they're going to do.
It's like I said, or it's like I've been saying, is pick 43 is going to be the pivotal point of the draft.
Yeah.
What the 49ers decide to do in the second round. So when if they don't trade back up into the first round, that first night, what's going to happen between that is going to be the interesting part. Because if they are going to trade up, trade back, or stay pat, is going to completely shape this entire draft.
Oh, correct.
And that's why that's one of the most interesting picks. But all of them are real interesting because the 49ers, they go off the reservation. They do things that people don't think about. They draft players. You're like, what? They'll draft multiple of the same position. That's why it's not crazy to go 2 corners, all that stuff. So, I mean, they just do whatever they feel like and whatever they value, and you have no idea exactly what they're going to do because they just don't see things the same as other teams, kind of like the Patriots. The Patriots do things different than everyone else, and that's why they're successful.
It's true. Gary should have gotten more future draft capital. Here's the thing. I don't think they're going to.
Yeah.
I think the only thing they may get future draft capital if they trade back from 43, right? If they trade back and maybe they're not going to pick anyone again until round 3, I think that would be a huge mistake for them to do. But if the Niners did that, that's the only way they're getting future draft capital, like for future years, because it doesn't make any sense not to go draft a developmental guy and stash him on your practice squad this year.
Future draft capital is not worth as much as it is this year.
Correct.
That is just the way the Jimmy Johnson chart works, is that a 4th round pick next year is not worth a 4th round pick this year.
Nope.
So you want to get as much as you can get from this year. Do what I think they're going to do, and this is what we were doing to a point, was once again try to get as many guys around the 150 players, top 150 players. You try to get as many guys in there as you can because those are the only guys that are going to be able to make the team.
Because this roster is too talented. It's too stacked.
It is. And, we are going to have a real problem in the next couple of years as far as draft picks. We don't have as many as we should. But when players leave, which how many fans tell us all the time that we have guys on 1-year deals? And when those guys leave, you get compensatory picks. So we are going to get some compensatory picks over the next couple of years. It's inevitable.
Correct.
Plus, we're going to get a draft pick from trading Jimmy Garoppolo at some point.
Correct.
Whether it's on draft weekend or it's next year. Even if it's next year, it won't be as much as you would like, but 4th, 5th round pick, possibly. So there is draft capital coming that way. The 49ers can definitely make moves and be able to pick up extra draft picks. And still, if you don't need the players anymore, because now that you're going to have a rookie pay scale, you're able to sign even more free agents.
Which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the new TV deals and everything, the salary cap is going to go up. The Niners are going to pick up an additional probably, 30 to 50 million somewhere in cap space once that salary cap picks up with the new TV contracts. And then you're going to get rid of Jimmy.
Yeah.
And you're going to have $50 to $75 million to play around with, which means you're going to be able to sign 3 or 4 huge starters for your team. And listen, some of that money's going to go to Fred Warner.
Yeah.
Some of that money's going to probably go to Bosa. Some of that money's
not
probably
initially.
Not initially, though. It's going to be down the line.
It has to be at this point with him coming off an ACL.
Correct.
He's still got 3 years on his rookie deal.
And they're going to pick up the 5th year option.
Well, that's why I said 3 years. 100%. I mean, why? Why would you do anything else? Let the salary cap just keep going up and going up.
It's true.
And then you make the necessary moves that you have to make.
It's accurate.
It's accurate. The one that they're going to have to address here in a couple of years is Deebo Samuel, of course. But if he can't stay healthy, once again, you're adjusting.
I 100% agree.
So there are a lot of things that are going to be ending up doing.
Yeah, Gary, I saw that. Mock draft of yours. I don't know how you pulled any of that off. You got a first rounder from the Patriots for 101. I don't think there's any way that happens.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's nuts. I'm glad you pulled it off. Makes me feel good. Maybe there's a possibility it happens, but I don't think there's any way. That's not the Patriot way, right? You're not going to give up a first round pick for
100%. Yeah, that's not the Patriot
they won't do
way.
that in the actual draft day. But it's cool that you pulled it off, though. I'm glad you did.
It is.
That was cute.
I think this roster's taking form.
Yeah.
The way that it looks, and they've done a dynamite job this offseason, and they've made this draft exciting. They really have. Moving up to 3, But who they take at 3 is still scaring the living heck out of me.
It gives me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it. It just the heebie-jeebies all over the place.
Is there anyone in chat that is a Mac Jones guy? I'm just curious.
I haven't seen anything. I see Love Fields. I see Zach. I'm seeing no Mac Jones. If we draft Mac, I'm done from Niners all day. Shout out. Listen, if they draft Mac Jones on draft day, it may be an ant and horse stream the rest of the day because I may have to just clock out and go rethink my life choices and team support. Because if they go Mac Jones at 3, man, part of me's gonna die inside. I just know it. I just know a part of me's gonna die inside. I don't want it to happen, but it could. It could 100% happen, and it's just sad. Yeah. It's sad to think about. It really is. Megan had asked earlier, what about the diagnosis that came out about Fields recently in the epilepsy? I'm going to let you go first on this. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it really has zero effect on what I think of him as a quarterback. First off, it's never affected him, that I know of in a game.
It's true.
So once again, I'm not really going to consider that. I think you take a look at it. Obviously, if you're drafting a guy this high, you have to take a look at everything. But the fact that they've been able to manage it with medication, it hasn't been an issue. And also they stated that he can grow out of it. So I think that, is it something you look at? Yes, you reassure with the doctors and everything that everything's going to be fine. But once they give you the okay, you go ahead and just select him. He's a great player.
It's true. It's very true. Man, it's one of those things. Epilepsy's no joke. Like that can render a person completely incapable of doing things. He's never had an issue or an incident on the field. It's never been something that's popped up. It's never been something that is, like you said, affected on field or preparation from the sounds or looks of it. And so that makes me, it tends and leads me to believe that this is something that's completely under control. It seems like he's on a medication that's working, and it's been working for years. And when you have a case of epilepsy like that, in which you have medication that works, and it's worked for a long, long time, that tends to be a good sign. I know the doctor said he's probably going to grow out of it. He has other members of his family who have. It's a pause. It's a pause for concern because it's epilepsy, and that could render him, incapable of
Right.
being the guy that he needs to be and
Yeah.
doing certain things and being available. But, and it's a big but, you have to also measure its impact on him thus far,
Yeah.
and it's not there. So it can't completely shatter your confidence in what he could be as a quarterback because it hasn't impacted him yet. Now,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean it can't. It doesn't mean it won't. But you can only go based off history, right? Like, you're supposed to learn from history. If you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. If you pass on this guy because of a diagnosis that hasn't impacted him ever, and then he pans out for another team, that's a big, huge mistake on your part, right? If you take a chance on the guy at 3, and then it ends up impacting him, you can dock somebody all you want, but there's no way to know that it was ever going to be this big of an issue. Because it hasn't ever been.
I agree.
You get a pass there, I think. A little bit.
Alex Faulkner, that is basically exactly how I feel as well. I'm not a Mac Jones guy, but trust Shanahan, and in trusting him, you kind of don't think he's going to take him. Unfortunately, I have been, a fan through a GM named Trent Baalke, and so that usually means that something, crazy can happen, and it just gives me bad, thoughts and vibes. I do trust these guys, but every once in a while I just get this bad lump in the back of my throat because of this guy.
Yeah.
It's a bulky thing, you know.
Is.
The AJ Jenkins, thing still just looms. It's just, it's really hard to get over. So that part. If I'll be honest, if he drafts Mac, I'm gonna be disappointed, irritated, because it's not the guy I want. And then at some point, that's gonna turn into, oh, well, this guy better do good because I want the 49ers to win freaking football games.
Well, and I want a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? I want a Super Bowl. If we go with this guy, he has to work. So you have to get on. As a Niner fan, you have to get on board. I just won't do it on draft night. I won't do it on draft night.
It will definitely make round 1 less pleasurable. Because I think the big thing for all the 49er fans, I think if it would have been Mac Jones at 12,
oh, dude.
Would have been
bro, I would have been fine.
No problem.
I would have been good.
It's the trade up to 3.
Oh, and giving up 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Listen, if we had made the deal, if we had gotten him at 12, or if they had gone up to 10 and taken Mac Jones, Okay, hey, you know what? Listen, I'm not a huge fan of him, but we didn't really give up the whole lot to get the quarterback that we want. We still got future first-round picks. Like, I'm good. Man, giving up 2 future first to make sure you get Mac Jones, this dude better be a home run. If it ends up being like, he has to be a home run.
Yeah, and I think that now they're starting to say that he's Matt Ryan with more athleticism. I think people forget Matt Ryan was a number 1 draft pick.
Guys, he's not Matt Ryan. I don't see Matt Ryan.
I mean, the one thing that makes me nervous is that he never threw into tight windows. That makes me nervous.
Never.
No.
And his deep ball accuracy is a concern.
I'm less concerned with his accuracy as I am than I am just the fact that he never threw into tight windows.
Well, listen, he not only did not throw into tight windows, he didn't really throw with a lot of pressure either.
No. But he does have decent pocket movement. Like
he's got great pocket.
I'm not going to hate on him. I'm going to say, I mean, I do think he's a top 15 pick.
Ooh, man. I don't know about that.
I do. I think if anyone takes him in the top 15, they should.
I think he goes in the top. I think he should go in the top 15 because quarterback is that important.
I think he's better than Tua. And Tua went top 5.
Better than Tua pre-injury?
Better than Tua coming out in the draft. That's all that matters.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, because, I mean, let's be honest.
What happened to Tua, and you can't change that.
I've been on that train. You know I am.
You have.
I've been on that train about Tua because I just didn't see it. Still, force him to his right. See what happens.
Yeah, he won't do anything. Matt Ryan drunken on acid is greater than Mac Salad. Mac Salad. That is a good nickname.
I like it.
He looks like he needs to eat a salad.
Whoa. No, he doesn't. He
No,
needs to eat
fine.
protein.
No, he needs to get stronger, though.
Yeah, he does.
He looks like a slightly bigger version of Tom Brady when Tom Brady came out.
To be honest with you, he looks like...
Except not Tom Brady.
He looks like one of the Lambdas went to try out for the Alpha Betas and football team. That's what he looks like.
Shout out to Sac Francisco. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Sac Francisco.
I like it, Sac Francisco.
I like that.
That's a good name. I like that.
That is really good.
Yeah, what's up?
Let's hope the D-line doesn't nickname themselves that, though, and steal your...
Well, there's the Gold Rush, I'm pretty
That's
sure.
True,
yeah.
The Gold Rush. Now, Sac Francisco, bro. How you
I
doing?
like that one.
How you doing, fam? You doing 49er fam? You just missed the mock draft. In a bit here, we'll go to a different scene, and I'll put up the draft results so everyone can see them. But no, this is man, this Mac Jones stuff at 3. And you know what? This the funny part is for 49ers fans in general right now. You can tell that the draft is close and that fever pitch is at an all-time high for this pick. We posted our pick 43 video the other day, and a couple of the fan groups on Facebook went a little nuts. A couple people were very upset that these guys, and this is a direct quote, these guys are sitting here talking about what we're going to do at pick 43 while I'm having an ulcer about what we're going to do at pick 3. Get it together, guys. And it's like, I didn't realize we couldn't talk about anything else.
You know what? He's right. Because you can't think about it. If you're thinking about work and how rough it is tomorrow, how can you think about vacation on the weekend? I mean, that is just so, thinking one way. It's like, of course you can think about other stuff.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
Not just that, but at the end of the day, right? Like, as a 49er fan, if the only thing you're concerned with is pick number 3, how invested are you in this team?
Let's be honest. More than likely, the guys that just commented to you don't watch day 2 and day 3 of the draft. They only watch day 1
because it's the one that everyone's watching.
Yeah,
they want to be in the.
I'll be honest,
in on the conversation.
I get more excited for day 3, rounds 5, 6, and 7. That's what 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm excited for those.
Well, those are the ones too that those are the names that the average fan isn't as familiar with. They're not familiar with 4, 5, 6, and 7.
But they do get there.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but those are the guys too there's been some of the biggest names in NFL history have come from those rounds. Those are the rounds where those guys get picked and you don't know who they are and they turn into some of the greatest players in your franchise's history. And it's like, Jesus Christ, how did everyone miss on them? But this is what I mean. This is what's so great about the NFL draft. This is what makes this time of year so special. This is why it is literally Christmas in springtime.
Yeah.
Like it is, because it's so hard to know. This isn't a science. It's really not. It's part work ethic, right? It's part boxes that you check athletically and physically, and then it's part it factor. And some guys have the it and don't have the other stuff and don't pan out. Some guys have the it and don't have the other stuff and pan out. Some guys have both. Some guys have questions. Like, it's just, there's no way to know. Every time you unwrap a draft pick, you don't really know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting this package that says this, but what's inside of it? What motivates this person?
Well,
You know, what is their true ceiling? Because a lot of times you think you know, and then you get a guy in there and you get him in the right place with the right coaching staff, the right system, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we thought his ceiling was here, and actually his ceiling's
well, that's the key, is getting him in the right situation.
correct.
Look at Richard Sherman. If he goes to somebody else besides the Seahawks and they're not playing that Seahawks cover 3, he probably doesn't turn out to be the player that he is because he wouldn't have been good in a man coverage scheme or something like that. So trying to fit a square peg into a round hole doesn't work.
Faulkner, I disagree with you there.
What'd you say?
Alex said nobody knows who Kyle is taking except York, Daddy Shanahan, Lynch, Peters, and Kyle himself, and none of these guys are talking outside that circle. I disagree. I think it's Daddy Shanahan and Lynch, and that's it.
You don't think John Beck has a really good idea?
I think John Beck has an idea, but the only reason John Beck has an idea is because John Beck is giving Shanahan the information that he needs so that he picks the guy that he wants to pick.
John Beck has an idea, and Rich Scangarello has an idea.
You think Rich does? You really
he
think
does now because he's been going to these pro days.
But as I told you, what if it's 10,000 IQ and they're telling him all of the wrong things on purpose?
I don't think so. I think they're getting a legitimate evaluation from him. I don't think he knows who they're taking. I just think he's starting to get an idea.
I mean, maybe. Listen, that's doable.
But I think he's pretty close. I don't think very many people outside of that circle know.
There are two guys. With
And I do
100%
think Adam Peters knows at this point.
who they're taking.
Yes.
Okay, maybe.
Or at least who they're leaning towards. I'm not 100%.
I'd be willing to bet you Shanahan has given him like the three names, the 3 guys he's going to take.
Well, I think
It's one of these 3.
I think Lynch and Peters. Yeah, Lynch and Peters have a guy that they want, and they're just hoping Kyle has the same guy. Let's just say that because Kyle's gonna decide.
I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Kyle is pulling the trigger on this. It's
but
Kyle's
there's a
quarterback.
lot of faith in Peters. Peters he's went to these pro days on his own. He's a very good evaluator of talent. Think about it. He's the one that goes places opposite, and then that's the guy they select. He was the one that went to Ohio State to see Bosa.
It's true.
And then they took Bosa.
Yeah,
so
did.
remember, Peters a lot of times is the guy that's going to get the final word.
Very accurate indeed. It's true. It's true. Mr. Faulkner also asked, what do you guys think of Kerry Vincent Jr.? A little overhyped.
Yeah, he was a guy that was kind of interesting to watch on film overall. A guy that I really equate to a slot corner and somebody that I didn't think was above a 5th round grade. But I think that if you're looking for a nickel corner kind of late, him and Trill Williams would make sense to play the nickel role.
I'd much rather have Trill.
Yeah.
But I think he has upside, and he was incredible as a young man at LSU. Tapered off a little bit as his career went on there. And some of that's competition, some of that's the deterioration of the team around him after a big national championship. All of that plays a role in it. But at the end of the day, Kerry Vincent, he just has some. He's not as technically sound as I'd like him.
He's really not, and he's not as fluid in the hips as I'd like either.
Yeah, that too.
So when he's popping and trying to break back up, he gets that foot in that 45 and trying to press forward on the receivers. It's just not as fluid as you would like.
I like that.
Yeah.
Foot in the 45.
May have coached corners.
I mean, he may have done it at some point.
Maybe at some point. Went to a couple clinics.
Hey, listen, I've had a lot of DB coaches because I played some DB in high school. I don't know if you knew that or not. I was pretty good actually at DB.
I was aware.
I was pretty smart. It was pretty decent out there. Never had a high school coach say that to me ever. And now you didn't coach me in high school, granted.
True.
Never had a DB coach in high school tell me that. 45.
Mm-hmm.
For the 45. Oh, I like it.
If you do, then you can press up faster and get up and make a play.
Yeah,
if you don't, your foot's gonna slide straight back.
I love it, man. I love it. These Facebook pages are full of whiners and weenies. So he's saying the Facebook groups are Weenie Hut Jr. basically, or Weenie Hut General.
He's not wrong.
Listen, man. The more I'm in those Facebook groups. And listen, I'm there specifically.
I'm sure there's a lot of great people that are in there too.
There are. There is a bunch. The problem is it's always the loud ones saying the most obnoxious, crazy things.
Yeah.
They give every listen, and the more we've been doing this, the more involved I've been in these communities because like I said, I'm always trying to reach out. We want people to join the conversation. We want people to come. But the more I reach out and do this kind of stuff, Man, I'm starting to realize a lot of, and this is a conversation I've had with multiple other YouTubers, whether it's, Jets 24/7 or a couple other different guys in Discord groups and stuff. Everyone feels like their fan base is the worst. Every single team, their fan base thinks that their fan base is one of the worst. There's obviously their rivals' fan base that they hate, but they talk about their own fan bases like, man, it's just bad sometimes. And it's true. It can get bad and get a little toxic.
Yeah.
The internet brings out the worst in people sometimes. In all honesty.
It's only bad if you take it personal, right? Because that's what happens. A lot of the people get upset and think that you can't have any sort of different opinion than them. And if you have a different opinion, then they get all personal about it. And it's like, we can just disagree. I mean, you're look at all the moving parts that are on a football team. Every decision is going to be scrutinized. Every player is going to be scrutinized. It's like, we're all going to have different opinions. There's no way me and you have known each other for a long time.
It's true. And we differ on a lot.
A lot. We differ. And the thing is, we look through football in a similar prism, and yet we still see things different.
Correct. Because
there's no way you can see everything the same.
That's true.
I mean, it's just when you evaluate talent, there's those guys that say that there's only 2,000 people in this world that can really watch film and know what they're seeing. Huh?
2,000, huh?
Yeah, Sage Rosenfeld said that.
It's 2,000.
Yep. I guess he's one of them.
He must, yeah. Well, I mean, because he knows, right?
Well, let's be honest. After watching Sage Rosenfeld's career, I'm pretty sure I watch film as good as he does.
I mean, there's a lot of guys I think I would watch a film as good as.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I know. I got a lot of what I do film watching, a good chunk of it from you. I've had a lot of really good coaches that were really great at breaking down.
Good coaches, yeah.
And some really great, and I learned a lot from them on film breakdown and just what to look for. And I've had conversations with kids that I've coached about this because we'll watch film and we'll watch the same tape and we will come away with completely different things. Now, granted, they're young athletes who don't necessarily know what to look at, but we'll watch film and the first question always is, like, how do you even see that?
Yeah.
How do you know to even look for that? And it's a combination of just being around the game as long as I've had, whether it was football or basketball, and also having those people point that stuff out to me early, at a very early age.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hard part with film. Like, you can get all caught up in the bells and whistles and the glamour of what's going on. If you're watching offensive linemen, for example, it is very, very easy to get distracted and watch the ball carrier and watch the quarterback carry out his fake. Watching receivers out in space, if they're running a route and it looks like an RPO, it's really easy to get distracted.
It is.
Super easy.
If you're an individual coach on a team and you're watching your position, it's extremely hard. There were so many times when I was a line coach when I was just starting out coaching, and it was like I would watch my line only and I wouldn't know what happened on the play. So I would have to go back and watch game film to see what happened in the game because I only watched my guys. Because I have 5 guys to focus on, and I need to make sure they were doing what they were supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. And if they didn't, then I had to make adjustments, right? Or I needed to adjust to what a defensive player was doing. That's hard to do. And it's hard watching film and making sure you pay attention to one thing.
Oh, I have this conversation with my kids all the time, especially with basketball.
Yeah.
Because we'd get done with the game, and we'd come in for film session, and I will have watched film already 4 times. And they're like, why would you watch it 4 times?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we got watching it for stats, and then watching it for the offense, and then watching it for the defense.
Yeah.
And then, based on how I felt about the game after 3 viewings of the film, what are some specific things that I need to look for here that we need to work on this week in practice? Just those things.
Yep.
And that's an hour-and-a-half game film that you're watching 4 times. And guess what? You're not just watching it through without stopping and rewinding multiple times per possession or multiple times per play. You're breaking it down heavy. So, I mean, film is tough. And even if you're really good at breaking down film, you are going to miss things.
I don't miss. You know why I don't miss?
You don't ever miss?
No, because I watch each play 22 times.
Well, that's true, too.
I literally watch every player on every single play.
You psychopath.
It's ridiculous.
You psychopath.
I was a psycho. I'm glad I don't do that no more.
It's not as fun.
Now I just watch 49ers all 22 and be psycho about it.
Hey, man, it's
Joseph Osai. That's not bad. That's not a bad pick.
No, Joseph Osai would be
What
good.
is everyone feeling about Ardenkey, and Hicks and these guys?
And Goldman.
I mean, what do you guys think about the signings the 49ers made this week? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Why do you think they made them? I mean, that is the big question. I know we put out a video where we thought, here comes the free agent signings. We weren't dead on about who it was going to be.
But
I know,
we were
part of it because Key and them just got cut,
literally a few days before.
Yeah. So, I mean, they weren't high on the radar as far as what we thought was going to happen, but young guys with huge upside.
Correct. Well, we were right about one thing. They weren't done in free agency.
And they weren't done with an edge rusher.
No, and they're still not. I don't think they're still done with free agency.
I don't think they are
by
either.
any means. Listen, I think the Arden Key, though, signing now makes it very, very unlikely that they go after a guy like Melvin Ingram, though, or Alex Okafor.
Agreed.
Or Everson Griffin. I think all of those guys are now off the board.
I think the only way that those would possibly happen is if they know something else about D Ford.
I think they do.
I think they think D's going to play.
I think they think he is, too.
Yeah.
I think even if it's just pass rushing downs. Coco Smooth says, Key looks the same as he did in LSU. No hand technique.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he really hasn't developed his game.
Thank you, Oakland.
I think this is going to be the big thing for Chris Kasarik. But the thing is, Kasarik signed off on this. So Kasarik sees something in him that he can develop.
Correct.
And I mean, look at what he's done with some of the other guys that he's brought in. Hyder is not successful unless he's with Chris Kasarik.
Dude, and look at, in all honesty, look at just Jordan Hillis last year. He wasn't a game breaker by any means, but he was a nothing in New York.
Yeah.
And he came in and had some plays where I was like, okay, this guy's showing something. There's something here. And that's just in a little bit of time. This guy's going to get a full camp with Chris Kasarik. A full camp. My Lord.
I am curious if Arden Key lives up to what he needs to do, because the other one that was developing last year under Chris Kasarik was Alex Barrett.
Yeah.
And Alex Barrett is still there. I mean, he's a little undersized for a defensive end, but he played well. And I'm curious, can Alex Barrett make the team this year and get a real rotation? I don't know, but at least he's somebody interesting that we've seen develop, like during last season. It was like, whoa, this guy's showing up, starting to get hurries and make plays.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird seeing 64 out there tearing it up. I'm like, oh, Hacksaw Reynolds is back? That's cool.
Good old Hacksaw Reynolds. I love it. Gruden 2022 equals fired.
I don't know now with what they're paying him.
10-year contract also. No, he's got like 6 years. He's gonna get over halfway of that contract.
He has to.
Yeah.
Well, and it's the whole Vegas thing.
Yeah.
Until this year basically was a wash. They're not going to count it because they need fans in the stands.
Correct.
And Gruden is still a draw no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's got at least this will be year 3 for him there in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Keep wanting to say Oakland.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oakland. It's going to be hard.
You poor guys.
It used to be hard at first it was hard to say LA, then it was hard to say Oakland. Now it's hard to say Las Vegas, so.
True. Tons of flexibility. Those recent signings will allow us to draft BPA.
Yeah.
It will add tons of flexibility.
It does.
It's true.
It really does. And you know what? Thinking through their prism, I was telling Alex earlier, I really looked at the mock draft today because I like to get myself in the mindset of where players could possibly fall and stuff.
It's true.
And when it got to the 5th round, I sat there and stared at the screen for about 30 minutes because I was trying to think about what the 49ers were going to do. And that's where it got interesting, because it's like, if I take best player available, am I taking a defensive tackle? Because I don't see it now, just with the moves they've made. So I kind of had to think outside the box a little bit. So I'm curious. I am curious what they're going to do.
Tommy, big no. No.
No.
No. Just no. Just no. Sometimes, man, you should, what does he say to Champ and Anchorman? Sometimes you got to let the old... you don't say everything that pops up in the old noggin. Tommy, don't let it all pop in there.
No, that is definitely not something I've thought of.
No, never.
No,
never. I've never wanted to go there.
Questfield?
For a game, never.
I would love to go anywhere for a game.
I know, just specifically.
You know why? Zero fear.
It's not fear for me.
Yeah.
It's not fear. I just don't want to be around those people.
I do.
Those stupid people.
I want them to feel the sadness.
As we suck. Oh man, listen. I take that back. let me rephrase, because I was thinking on it now, how to have been there in 2019.
Yeah,
at their place, that would have been.
Oh, dude.
Oh, bro.
I guarantee I would have got beat up. I guarantee
fisticuffs, my man.
I would have got jumped.
Fisticuffs.
It would have taken a few of them, but it would have happened.
Mo Hurst, low key beast signing. Dude, he seems pumped to be in San Francisco.
Yeah, you know what? The first 2 years he had, sack production 3 and 4, and then last year just nothing. nothing. You know what I mean? I think he
Okay.
has 8 career sacks, so maybe I'm a little wrong. I think it's maybe like 3.5 and
4.5.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's like 8 career sacks, but this year is 0. You know what I mean? And that's not something that you're really excited about. But once again, I guarantee they see potential in him.
Well, it's Vegas too.
Yeah, and they're not doing anything with their defensive line. I mean, they're really not. Their defensive line has done nothing.
It's true.
And they haven't proven that they can evaluate defensive line either. Klein Farrell in the first round.
Or develop it.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're taking some guys with potential, right? And then listen, if Arden Key and Hurst work out here in San Francisco, I mean, it's a death sentence for whoever your D-line coach is there in Vegas. It's a death sentence because if those two work out in San Francisco even a little bit, that guy has to be out of a job the next day.
And Chris Cassera gets another raise.
A big fat raise.
He's already making cash.
If this guy, he can't go anywhere. And
Oh,
the only good news is he doesn't want to do anything else other than coach D-line.
True.
Which is great. Just keep this man around forever.
Dario's wanting to know who he picked.
What were the picks you made? All right, let's go. I'm going to pull it up here. And I'm going to put this on the screen so you can read them off while I get everything ready for that.
Yeah, so first off, we took Justin Fields at pick 3. And then when we got to 43, we ended up trading back. And we picked up 70, 172, and 230. I'm sorry, is that what we gave up?
We gave up we received 70, 84, 123. Oh, we gave up 70, 172, and 230 for 46.
Oh, that was when we traded back up.
That's when we traded up.
That's what's confusing. See, it comes after that.
It comes after that one. The PFF's great.
Yeah,
They're
PFF
wonderful.
screwed it all up. But anyways, we got Fields at 3. Then Dickerson, we traded back and then ended up trading back up using some of that draft capital to be able to get Dickerson, who we feel could possibly start at guard this year, and then the eventual replacement for Alex Mack. And then we traded back, then we just stayed pat, for Paulson Adebo.
Correct. We did stay pat
for Paulson Adebo. We drafted him, the corner out of Stanford. Then we got lucky and hit on another corner with Kelvin Joseph from Kentucky. A lot of upside. He was still there. Then Jamin Davis fell to us at 117, which is a normal pick for us, and we took him, the linebacker from Kentucky. Great athleticism coming off the edge. Could be a nice outside linebacker fit. Then we had 123 from an earlier trade, and we took Tommy Trimble, which was a really nice move. And then that's when we had to decide, kind of what we were going to do. And we decided that we were going to, move back, pick up a little bit more draft capital, and then we got Amari Rodgers from Clemson to play the slot. Built a lot like Deebo Samuel, so I know we like that. Running back that plays a slot position. Seemed like somebody that Kyle would really like. And then we went ahead and made sure that we picked up another skill player. He was one of the best guys that we saw on the board still. So we went ahead and took Shai Smith, and that rounded it out for us.
Yeah, it did. And it was good. What is Adebo's size for Mr. Tommy Huxley?
I believe Adebo is 6'1" or 6'2". He's like in that range. And he is right around 200 pounds.
Correct.
Don't quote me. I think he was like 6'1" and 3/8 or something like that.
Something weird.
Yeah. So I mean, he's not outrageously tall, but he's definitely in the, the hotbed of where you want your cover 3 guy to be. But he also has man skills. This guy can do a lot of good things, and he's got a lot of quickness. He gets in and out of breaks fast, which I like. And like we've talked about, the ball skills are fantastic.
Oh man, the ball skills on this guy are next level.
Yeah,
it's like watching a receiver highlight film.
It is,
except he's a corner, which you love to see as a DB. In terms of getting a guy who maybe a turnover magnet.
Yeah,
this would solve a lot of your questions, especially if he pans out there in round 3. This solves a lot of your questions about defensive secondary players who can create turnovers. If you put the ball up in space, if you don't make a perfect throw on Paulson Adebo, he is going to get his hands on the football. And if he gets his hands on the football, he could come down with the football.
Yeah, it's scary to compare him to Richard Sherman.
Paulson Adebo is the only one going up with it for it.
He's the only one. Yeah, it's a one-man cold. Yeah. He is. He's, even though we shouldn't compare him to Richard Sherman. It's
too easy.
You have to, because he's a receiver that became a corner. He plays at Stanford. But this dude has real skills, and I think he could have been easily a round 2, round 3, guy, especially round 2. So that's why we went ahead and got him when we got him. And then also, Tommy gave us a B+ now.
Oh, thank you, Tommy.
We appreciate that, because Kelvin Joseph is also a big-time corner that we were able to get with a lot of upside.
And you know what? He's a corner that not a lot of people are talking about.
It's true.
You don't hear a lot of Kelvin Josephs, and I think we're both contemplating on whether or not he's going to be in our Dark Horse episode or not. Because I think he might be a guy who should get into that episode because there's not a lot of talk on him. Not a lot of people have seen film of this man play football, and the film is man, it is incredible. He gets up in space. He's physical.
Yeah.
He's everywhere that he needs to be all the time. Teams that take shots on Kelvin Joseph regret taking shots on Kelvin Joseph.
Yeah.
And I think the athleticism bodes well for what he could be in the NFL because he could play in a lot of different spots. You can put him inside. You can put him outside. You don't have to worry about him getting beat a whole lot. He does have technique stuff that he's got to work out and clean up, which is why he's later in this draft.
Agreed.
But I mean, shoot, look what the Niners have already done with undrafted Emmanuel Mosley.
It's true. And the thing is you're going to develop this guy. He doesn't have to start day one.
Correct.
He's going to be somebody in there that right away, though, as soon as you get him up to speed, he's already better than Dante Johnson and those guys and able to back up your starters, and you're feeling comfortable with them. And in year two, if you lose Jason Verrett, you're not dead in the water because now you have two guys that are ready to go with the Debo and with this guy, which I like.
Alex Faulkner brings up he's heard he's had character issues.
That is true. And that's part of the reason that he's slipping.
Correct.
So I mean, you have to have the comfort, be able to go in there and meet with them and know that those things are behind him. Maybe he would just made some mistakes, and those are possibilities.
Let's not also forget that these guys are young men.
Yeah.
They are as I've felt this as I've grown up. Every generation, it takes a little bit longer for the kids to mature.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more. Technology, social media, cell phones have made it really, really hard for the younger generation to grow up faster.
Yeah.
Everything is instant access, instant gratification. So there's not that sense of urgency to mature because you can have everything you want whenever you want it as quickly and as soon as you want it. And so it's hard for some people to adjust to that. And more young people in today's world are just they struggle to pick up that sense of maturity, like to develop.
Yeah.
As a characteristic, it takes a little bit longer. Like I'm 30. I don't feel 30 at all. I still love the Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Love wrestling. Some people would say that makes me a child for that. And I mean, we're doing this. I mean, some people would say, the doing the YouTube stuff. I mean, what's the point of doing it? I don't feel like a 30-year-old.
Right.
Every day I wake up, I feel like I'm, 22, 23.
Mm-hmm.
Young man, living it up, doing all the fun stuff, having a good old time with my boys on a podcast. I don't feel like a 30-year-old. Thanks, Matt Burgos. I appreciate it, Boomer. You're a boomer. You freaking boomer. No, but I mean, it's just at the end of the day, they're kids.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys have been thrust into the spotlight at a very early age. I mean, that's a lot of pressure there.
Well, there's just a lot of things, too, that I don't know. I don't know what the circumstances were behind it. I don't know where he grew up. I don't know what
environment
any of this stuff happened in. So, I mean, the teams are more privy to all that information.
Correct.
And they get to ask these guys personal questions. So if these are not red flags for teams, then that's fine. The character, concerns are not red flags for me either. Mm-hmm. Because I just don't know. I mean, I can't talk about things I don't know a whole lot about.
Correct. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. That is 100% fair indeed. Thoughts on Basham Jr. from Mr. Faulkner?
I think he has a high motor, and I think he's one of those guys that plays with a lot of physicality. Sometimes gets a little high, and also sometimes invites offensive linemen into his chest plate, which is a real problem because if they get their hands on him, then they can at least anchor down and stop him. One thing I saw was that he didn't get to the quarterback without having to really just give a ton of effort. He couldn't just get there on his own a lot of times, without the coverage really holding on and holding the fort so he could get there. He didn't get there real fast. So those are things that made me think he's a definitely second, third round guy. But, I mean, he's big, physical, and strong. I just didn't think he played to the big, physical, strong nature that his stature shows.
He doesn't look as dominant as he appears. That's my big
That he should be.
Yeah, he should be much more physically prominent.
He should be chucking people around.
And he's not.
No.
And that's concerning.
Yeah.
That is concerning.
But I mean, if you're looking for a base 4-3 guy that can set the edge, get you 4 to 5 sacks every year, then yeah, he's solid. Yeah, I think that's what you're looking at. The kind of the 4 to 5 sacks.
But
solid.
Should you be taking that guy in round 2?
Probably not. You know what I mean? Probably not. But I mean, unless that's your basement, you know what I mean? If that's what you think his floor is, you know.
It could be.
I don't think that's his floor, but I don't think that's his ceiling either.
Also true. I think his ceiling is probably higher than his floor, but the question is he gonna get there? Because I think his ceiling though is based on just stature. If you just look at the physical characteristics, right, the physical traits of Carlos Basham, his ceiling's stupid high.
Yeah.
What he could be, he's nowhere near it.
Yeah.
And that's a concern. Is there enough time for you to get there before you're out of your prime?
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to be about hand placement, how he improves using his hands. It really is.
And the big thing, like you said, the inviting NFL offensive linemen into your chest plate is a recipe for disaster.
Oh yeah, you do that to Trent Williams and you're on the ground.
Oh,
enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
what kind of syrup you want on that pancake? Son?
It's going to be a big pancake.
It's going to be nice.
It's going to be good. Tommy Huxley, I think Jalen Hurd is done. What do you say, Cats?
100% he's not done.
Nope.
Okay, number one, Tommy, you'll probably hate this about me, but I'm 100% a Jalen Hurd guy.
Big Jalen Hurd.
Okay, since Jalen Hurd has been drafted, I've been a huge fan. I think the first year, the back thing was some of his fault. I think the way that he handled it, you know, just the way, because it didn't go the right way. But I think last year was a freak accident. Him just running on the side field and he goes down.
He did everything possible between year 1 and year 2
Correct.
to be there and be everything that he needed to be. And I think Shanahan, because you said it last in one of our last videos or last streams, that Shanahan just looked distraught in that press conference.
He did.
He looked just destroyed, and that's because he was the antithesis of what had happened to Dante Pettis.
Yeah.
Right? Dante Pettis was a guy that took a chance on, took a flyer on. Nothing was working out. His mindset wasn't right in San Francisco. He needed to get out. He was in the doghouse constantly. Shanahan was like, this guy, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He's not there. He's not ready. This isn't going to work. Jalen Hurd was the antithesis of that, right? Obstacles to overcame them, did everything right. Shanahan's, salivating at what the potential could be, and then non-contact ACL injury.
Well, and we've never heard any negative comments about how he handles his work, how he shows up, his mindset when he's at practice, all of those things that are there for him, and that's one thing. Kyle got very familiar with him at the Senior Bowl, and that's part of the reason they went back-to-back Debo and Jalen Hurd in rounds 2 and 3, because those guys were going to shape the offense. I don't think anyone understands what this offense is going to look like if they have a healthy Jalen Hurd.
This offense, I don't even think I can picture it.
I can.
I mean, listen,
I'm psychotic about it, okay?
I don't mean like picture it in terms of like what it should look like.
Yeah.
But like actually fathoming it, putting it into reality, it's hard. And it's hard because it opens up so many things. There are so many things you can do with him on the field.
Oh my gosh.
It's not even funny.
No. This offense is fundamentally different with him in there.
It's also fundamentally different when Jimmy's on the field also.
The 2-minute offense is going to be ridiculous. They're going to have so many mismatches against the defense.
Yeah.
Because, you're lining them up. You're putting an extra DB on the field to cover him. Okay, that's cool. We're going to run the ball now. And we have one of the best inline blockers in George Kittle to block for him.
Have fun.
Yeah. Good luck. And enjoy yourself. I hope you have a big box safety. Buda Baker ain't getting it done. Arizona's going to die in that situation. Isaiah Simmons ain't going to get it done.
Oh, poor Isaiah
Because anyone
Simmons.
that doesn't know, Jalen Hurd is a legit running back as well.
If you didn't know that,
fantastic.
He was a 1,000-yard rusher his first year of college at Tennessee. Correct?
At Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started in front of Alvin Kamara.
Yep.
Let that sink in.
That's hard to process. Bro, that's hard to process. In front of Kamara.
That dude is...
And he was that big, by the way. Like, his size right now, he was that size as a running back.
Yes.
And he was a good running back.
Yes,
really good. The film on him at Tennessee was incredible.
You think we need a goal line runner? We got one. Jalen Hurd.
Yeah.
We
literally, you could literally motion like Mostert out of the backfield and then motion Hurd in the same formation package.
Don't even have a running back in.
Yeah, just go empty, get under center, bring him back, and go.
Well, if he's back there, he runs the ball.
It's true.
If he motions out, now he's a mismatch against the safety, and here comes the jump ball. What are you gonna do? He's a mismatch issue. You already have mismatch issues with Debo as well.
You're gonna cry. I mean, that's all you can do as a D coordinator.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna be excited.
Listen, I said D coordinator.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the D coordinator.
You might as well start calling him the Onion because he's gonna make people cry.
He's got layers. He's deep, bro.
He does.
He's deep. Jalen Hurd hasn't played one dang regular season game.
It's true.
Not good. Best ability is availability. Yes, you are correct. Yeah. You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
But look.
You know who else hasn't played a game? Any of these draft picks we just talked about.
That's the point, right? Like, none of these guys. You don't know what's going to happen. And here's the thing, right? If you're going to say that about Jalen Hurd, are you saying the same thing about Bosa?
Well, Bosa
I
did
listen.
play 1 year, though.
Bosa's got 1 year under his
Yeah.
belt, right? But he's only got 1 year under his belt.
Yeah.
And what happens if he gets hurt again?
No, it's true. And you know what the thing is, though, with Jalen Hurd is I get why people are frustrated and don't want to put any faith in him.
But it's not him.
No, you're right.
It's not him.
It isn't. But you see things get derailed. I mean, this isn't Dante Pettis, like you said.
No,
this isn't a guy that just
self-inflicted.
didn't get it done.
Yeah.
This is a guy that suffered injuries. And what's crazy is he was pretty much healthy in college. So this is a little weird.
Debo will not end up being the number 3 wide receiver if Hurd is healthy, though.
Oh, no.
No.
No, I don't think any of us are saying that because
No.
I think
Faulkner said it. Faulkner said it, but no, I don't think we agree with you there, Alex.
Jalen has a specific role, especially for the first year. He's going to be a power slot that also plays out of the backfield and sometimes lines up as an H-back or in a sort of tight end role. Not in-line, but H-back. Yep. And the things that they can do with him are going to be nuts. I mean, especially you have interchangeable parts with him, Debo, Juice. Any one of them can be in the backfield. Any of them can be a receiver, and any of them are matchup problems.
Correct.
That's why he's so exciting. That's why I'm not down on him. Now, I'll be honest. My heart broke last year when he got hurt.
I remember.
That one killed me. That one killed me because I have been on the hype train. I almost bought a jersey. I'm glad I never did because he changed his number so many times, and he'll probably change it again now they have single digits.
I always say Debo's already teasing the move to 1.
Yeah, thank God I never bought his jersey.
I did. I'm a little upset. And, and I didn't just buy his jersey. I bought the retro throwback whites, dude. It looks so clean. I'm about to get another one.
Just put an X through the 9.
There you go. There you go. Look at this man, problem solver. Do you guys think Pitts is overhyped? No. As a Florida Gator fan, this dude is not overhyped. I said in our tight end episode where we broke down the tight ends the Niners could target, I said that Kyle Pitts was essentially like Calvin Johnson except without the 4.3 speed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. I mean, that's what he is. I mean, just watch it. The guy is an incredible. He's not really a tight end. Like, the reality of the situation is he's not. That's not what he is. He's not a tight end, folks. He is a receiver.
I think he's a tight end.
Playing tight end.
I think he's a tight end. You know why I tell you he's a tight end?
Why?
Because I don't think he gets the separation and stuff from corners that he will against safeties and linebackers.
We'll see.
George Kittle's a tight end that can play good against corners.
Correct.
He's not a receiver.
Correct. All right.
That's what I'm saying. There is a little bit of Jimmy Graham tried to make himself a receiver.
He did try to make himself.
He's not a receiver.
No,
now Kyle Pitts can be better than Jimmy Graham.
That's the thing.
Yes.
I think for me, his ceiling is above that of Jimmy Graham. So if you get him in the right system, he could end up being one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
Kyle Pitts, though, is the evolution of the tight end position. It's going to continue to go this way. They're going to get a little bit slimmer, but he's actually pretty big and thick for his size. I think that's why the Megatron. I think he could be a great talent. It depends on what situation he goes to and what quarterback he plays with.
Situation, he's a Hall of Famer.
I'm not ready to project it yet, but I think he is a big time Pro Bowler and ready to make a lot of plays.
I'll say it right now. He gets to the right place with the right quarterback.
I mean,
on draft day, I'll tell you right away on draft day whether or not Kyle Pitts makes the Hall of Fame.
I mean, I like the boldness, and I don't think it would have been crazy.
Should I have played the Wild That's Bold?
Would it have been crazy talk if we thought the 49ers would have traded up to get him? Not to 3, but I mean just to trade up to get him. I don't think it would have been crazy talk.
No, well, there was we were having a conversation.
Yeah.
About there were 2 guys that we would trade up to get if you're not trading up to get a quarterback. And it was Penei Sewell and it was Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 guys that we had targeted as if the Niners don't go quarterback.
Did you see Pitts said that he thought when the Niners traded up to 3 initially, they were coming up to get him?
Oh, that's...
Could they pull the swerve of all swerves and take Pitts and then draft Davis Mills in the 2nd round? You know what I'm saying? It's just a bizarro freak you out.
Why would you give up so much draft capital to do it is the question I have.
You wouldn't. I was just doing it just to irritate you.
I know, people are really on this train. People think this is what they're doing.
I know.
And they're not doing that, folks.
No, they're definitely taking a quarterback.
It's quarterback. I wish it was Pitts.
I would have been happy with Pitts at 8, but I'm not cool with Pitts.
I'm not cool. I'm just not cool with Pitts and 2 first-round picks, dude.
Yeah.
Like losing 2 first-round picks to get Kyle Pitts upsets me. It hurts my soul. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't sell the farm for a left tackle or tight end. Preposterous. I mean, listen, you would sell the farm for a left tackle if left tackle is the thing that's going to...
let's be honest. When we were talking about trading up for a left tackle or for Kyle Pitts, that was when Pitts was still believed to go between 7 and 10.
Correct.
And that was when Penei Sewell, we were seeing, was starting to slip, and that some teams were valuing Rashawn Slater above him.
Correct.
So Penei Sewell was going to fall to that range. So you weren't going to give up the farm. You were going to give up a little bit to move up.
You were probably going to give up your first and a compensatory third.
Yeah, I mean, it was looking, or, a future second, something like that. You were looking at that move, and you're like, okay, I can make that move because I know I'm going to get a generational tackle or tight end. And that's what you're looking at.
Correct. It's just not happening anymore.
No, moving up to 3 is quarterback.
Quarterback, 100%.
Yeah.
All the way. Not Mac Jones. Please not Mac Jones. Do any of you guys feel like Kyle Pitts is overhyped? Is there anyone here in chat who heard my tirade just now about how it's not Pitts and heard Ant say it's not Pitts? Are any of you upset about that? Are any of you wanting them to take Pitts at 3? That's a question. That's a question that you can answer that we want to know about. Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's an interesting thought process. I don't want it to happen. I don't think there's any way it happens. But, some of you may feel that Pitts would be the best choice there.
I also want to know what people think about needs for the 49ers now. Now they've made all these signings. Going into the draft, what positions are the actual needs? Because it's all changed throughout free agency and even this week.
It's true.
I think positions we thought were possibilities just aren't now.
Also true. Chat, positions and needs for the 49ers, what are they now? Is safety still a need?
Oh, yeah.
Is D-line still a need?
People still tell us safety's a need, and we have
PFF still has them as a need, and we have 9.
We have 6 or 7, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I mean, and we have 3 guys that have starting experience with the 49ers. Actually 4, because Marcel Harris, they all understand the system. Maiden understands the system. He already knows what to do. It's like, Obi's been there for a while. I don't know. Melifonwu is still a second-round talent.
He is.
I mean...
Bacha Melifonwu, man.
Dude.
Basically the entire Syracuse secondary with the exception of Trill Williams.
Well, I'm talking about his brother that's on our team.
Oh, that's true. That's right. We do have a Melifonwu on the roster.
And he was a second-round talent.
He was.
Think about that. And he played with the Patriots the last couple of years. And not a lot of playing, but...
No.
He's still a big-time talent. 6'3". I mean...
He's big and rangy.
I think that's why a lot of people are starting to see his brother and think his brother translates to safety.
They ain't wrong.
No.
They're not wrong at all. We've been saying that for a long time. You don't draft a linebacker or safety wasted picks. I disagree with you on linebacker. I disagree.
Okay.
Why? I guess why would be the question I have. Why not linebacker?
Maybe he has 100% faith in Nathan Jerry or Aziz Al-Shair.
Okay, if you have 100% faith in either one of those guys, why?
I think.
What have you seen? What are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Because I don't have that kind of faith in either one of them.
I agree with him on safety. I wouldn't draft a safety unless...
I wouldn't touch a safety.
Unless someone fell that was just like...
If Caden Stearns fell to round 5, I'd take him.
No.
Yep.
I wouldn't take Caden Stearns in round 7.
Late round 5, I'd take Caden Stearns.
Nah.
Yep. 100%. I would.
Whoa.
I told you I like him. I like him a lot.
I know.
He's projected to go in round 4, so if he's there late in round 5, I would take him.
If someone takes him in round 4, I'll be shocked.
He's going to go in round 4, I'm telling you right now.
No.
I've been saying this since the start when I told you guys this.
He was
going to be a round
wrong.
3, round 4 prospect. He's going in round 4.
He's not. He's going in round 6.
So he's going in round 4.
No.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm telling you.
You're wrong. You're wrong on
this guy does not have it. Coverage skills are seriously lacking.
This is where we disagree. I think it's the tackling. I think his issue is the tackling. I don't think it's the coverage.
So you want a safety that can't tackle?
No. No. This is why I don't think he projects as well to the 49ers anymore. But there are definitely teams that are going to look at him as a coverage safety.
I just think there's better options.
I don't disagree with you. But I think he has a high ceiling.
Whew. We're going to find out.
We're going to see.
When he goes in round 6, that's going to be fun.
Al-Shair filled in when Fred Warner was gone. He did great. Great's a strong word, Tommy.
Well, you know what, Tommy? Maybe you're right.
Okay.
But do you remember Nick Mullins filled in for Garoppolo once, and he was good. And then last year happened.
Yep.
So
and also there was a game. His first game that he filled in for Jimmy Garoppolo was great. And then the Eagles game.
You got to remember the sample size. I mean, you really do.
True.
I mean, when you're looking at it, it's like,
it's true.
I don't know.
Well, JR, if you're getting a quarterback, that's for true. I mean, if Jimmy's 100%, yeah. And I was gonna say, well, if you're getting a quarterback at 3, you're also not getting Pitts. So you're right there. If you're 100% confident Jimmy's gonna be 100%, if you have it written in like a soul contract,
yeah,
with like the devil or something, then maybe.
Yeah,
Wilson, Shanny, please, or Lance.
I'm on the Wilson train. I am.
I think that's the guy we really want.
I mean, is that how you see it? Wilson, Fields, Lance, Jones.
Yeah, in that specific order. Yes.
No Kellen Mond.
Get Kellen Mond out of here. Get Kellen Mond out of here. I will tell you right now. If that guy pans out, I'll never talk about quarterbacks again.
He's like 14 of 52 outside the hash marks. Just so you know.
Dude, he's so bad throwing at and Grant Cohn actually said that this man can make any throw on the field. He said that.
Uh-huh.
What are you What world are we living in?
Why are you listening to Grant Cohn for knowledge about football?
I just wanted to get like some insight into what he thought because I saw all the Mon stuff coming out. I was like, so what are you seeing? And then he said that, and I was like, dude, no, this dude cannot make every throw on the field.
Yeah.
This guy can't throw outside the hash marks past 5 yards. The minute he has to throw a deep to mid out or corner out, I don't know what's going to happen to that ball. It's not going to go where I want it to go. I can tell you that right now as a coach.
Yeah. I don't see it with Mond. I don't think
Mond equals Joe Montana Tommy. You're about to get a timeout, bro. You're about to get a timeout. Don't joke about that, my dude. Don't do it.
Yeah, big difference between Joe Cool there and Kellen Mond.
Yeah. Kellen Mond's gonna flame out in 2 years. That's the big difference.
It all depends. Kellen Mond could develop. He's been playing a pro style offense. I'm not gonna go ahead and say that he's not gonna turn into something eventually, but he's not a first round pick.
No.
3rd, 4th round pick. There you go, Kellen Mond. Get him
right where Kyle Trask is.
You know who should think about getting him? Steelers. Draft him, put him behind Big Ben for a year, and let him develop.
Big arm.
He's got the big arm.
Body.
Yeah. He's played in a pro style offense. He would fit in that system.
I agree.
I mean, that just makes more sense.
If Jimmy wasn't injured, Pitts and George of the Jungle Kittle. Ayuk. Okay. Yeah, no. I mean it would be nice. Who is going to do our kickoff and punt returns, Ant?
I think it's going to be someone they draft.
You think so?
It's either going to be that or it's going to be Travis Benjamin.
I think Travis Benjamin is option A for them.
Yeah.
Obviously. And then, someone they draft.
I think they're looking to upgrade over Richie James in that department because
don't be shocked if it's an undrafted guy either.
Yeah, it could be. I think I have an idea of who it could be, but I'm not going to say it because he might be in a mock draft coming up.
Oh, you want to save it, huh? You don't want to give it away, just like we don't want to give away Debo Jr., right?
Yeah, well, we're saving it.
Yeah, we're saving Debo Jr. Actually, we're not really saving. It's a few days away.
Yeah.
If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. You want to find out.
It's not even a few days. It's tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow? It comes out.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. You heard it here first from Mr. Robertson there. Tomorrow, you get to find out who Debo Jr. is.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss who Debo Jr. is. This guy could be one of the biggest undrafted free agent signings if the 49ers can get him.
Actually, the undrafted episode is awesome because there's a lot of players that have a lot of skills and a lot of ability that people just don't talk about. And once you just check out the name and then go watch highlights if you don't want to watch film, but watch highlights and just see what these guys are going to be like. How is this guy not getting drafted?
Yeah. Sac Francisco says RG and wide receiver 3 are still positions of need. Agreed.
Yeah, I think a lot of people still see right guard. I think we're still steadfast on the fact they need to get somebody to play in the interior offensive line, but the 49ers are definitely showing no slowing down and thinking that they have it already secured.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know what the Niners... I was convinced a few days ago that the Niners were going to be quarterback and interior O-line, first 2 picks. I'm just down to quarterback confidence now. That's it. I know it's a quarterback at 3, and that's about it. Everything else is up in the air. I have no clue.
It's starting to get weird.
Yep.
But you're right, wide receiver, there's they could use something there. I think they still could use a tight end. I'm not feeling 100% about going into the season with Charlie Warner as tight end 3.
No.
Or Daniel Helm as tight end 4. And just so we know,
he's just lucky to be on a roster.
A move is imminent because they released Chase Harrell.
Oh yeah.
And why would you release Chase Harrell unless you were going to bring on another tight end eventually?
You're going to bring one in. Let's hope they're drafted.
You definitely need 4 or 5 tight ends for a training camp.
Honestly, Tommy Tremble would be great. I would love Brevin Jordan as well, but if they're looking at a guy who's more of a hybrid role right away day one, then Tommy Tremble.
They have met with Brevin Jordan.
Should be Brevin Jordan then.
Yeah, so it probably won't. That's the thing. It's so confusing with who they met. It doesn't mean anything.
That's also true. It's also true. I can feel it. Wilson practicing against Warner and Bosa would have Wilson ready. I mean, yeah, But I mean, in all honesty, I would just get Zach Wilson and all of his tools in with Kyle Shanahan.
Here's a question for everyone
Just
too.
get his mind
if the
in
pick
sync.
if the pick is Fields or Wilson, do they trade Jimmy Garoppolo on the night of the draft or on draft weekend? If it's Lance, do they keep him? I want to know what people think if they're trading him or they're keeping him.
If it's, I think, and this is my gut feeling here. If it's Wilson, he's getting dealt.
Do you think Wilson's ready to go day one?
I don't, but as I've told you, I think I think by the time we're at week 5, week 6, he is. I think he's ready to go by then. I don't think he has as much that he needs to clean up on. I think it's just getting familiar with the playbook and comfortable with it. And I think you give him 3 or 4 NFL. He's going to get some preseason. Obviously, get probably 1 game of preseason and portion of a second preseason game, and then 3 or 4 NFL starts under his belt. I think he's good to go. He's ready. And we all have seen that the Niners can rely on the run game to win football games and their defense. That takes a lot of pressure off the young man to not have to make a bunch of plays. I think you can safely, if it's Wilson, I think you can safely get rid of Jimmy, free up the cap space now, and roll with the rookie and see what happens. If it's Justin Fields, I don't think he's ready by week 5. I think he'd be a guy who's ready closer to playoff time.
Right.
And so you're rolling with Jimmy. If something happens to Jimmy, Justin's ready to step in and take over week 16, 17. And I'd feel good about that. Think with like the Kaepernick situation with what happened with Cap, right? A full year behind Alex. They start bringing him in a little bit in the second year, getting him some run, and then Alex goes down end of the season. And Cap stepped in and was ready at that point because he had time to develop. Fields needs less time than Cap did to be ready.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting question. I went back and forth on whether they're going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo or not. I think the biggest argument for trading Jimmy Garoppolo now is the fact that if you trade him next year, he's only got 1 year left on his deal. So then he's not as valuable. He's the most valuable right now. And so that is one way to look at it. But I think if you're going to get a guy that you don't think you can win with right away, that you definitely keep Jimmy Garoppolo and you try to win because the window is still open for them to win a Super Bowl right now, and Jimmy has already proven that he can get you to the Super Bowl.
Correct. Which is why you roll with Jimmy unless you absolutely don't have to.
But it's very enticing to think you trade Jimmy Garoppolo, you use that money to re-sign Fred Warner, to an extension, and then use the rest of the money to just build an even better football team around a rookie quarterback and put less pressure on him and just see what could happen.
Jag, you are correct. You're correct in that all successful teams have great special teams. All successful teams are great in all 3 phases of the game.
It's true.
You have to be good in all 3 phases. Great, preferably in all 3 phases. And you're also correct that they're going to keep Jimmy G unless it's a great offer.
I think so.
They set the price tag as a first round pick, but I think you and I both think that they would be willing to wiggle off that first round pick if it's the right package.
It's true. I think if they're going to get something they deem, worth it, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Then they'll do it. But if not, then they'll sit pat. I don't think they're in a rush to trade Jimmy right now.
No.
And someone could get desperate during the draft.
Well, that's where again, we had a bold prediction episode that came out. We talked about this, and this is what I said was going to be the case. Right? They take a guy there at 3, they love him, and someone's sitting there going, "We can't come up to get a quarterback. We can't come up to get a quarterback. We can't. Fine, here's a first." And they make the move. I can see it happening on draft day.
It could happen. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities for sure.
If Jimmy's not traded on draft day, though, so Gary just asked, Jimmy will be traded during training camp? Question mark? No. If Jimmy makes it to training camp, he's on the roster this year. That's my feeling.
I think he would be on the roster at least until the trade deadline.
You think they would move him at the trade deadline?
They could. Why not? Somebody might be willing to take. Let's say
if he's playing lights out.
Let's say the Bears, for instance, are doing well, and Andy Dalton goes down, and they're 7-2, and they call the 49ers like, dude, we need Jimmy. And
here's a first.
Here's a first round pick next year.
Here's a first and a third.
Why wouldn't you do it? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you do it? Unless you don't have faith in your rookie quarterback. If you're having a great season too.
Correct. I think that's the big thing, right? It's going to Jimmy getting dealt is all going to depend on Kyle Shanahan's comfort with the rookie, number 1, and number 2, what happens around the rest of the league. If a team goes down or is doing well and goes down, like you just said, I think that's the most likely scenario in which they get a deal for Jimmy, because someone who sees the Niners having success and they're having success of their own, if you want Jimmy, you're going to now have to overpay for Jimmy, because you're not going to be able to just lowball offer the 49ers and they're going to give him up, especially if the Niners are winning.
Yeah.
You're going to have to overpay. So now that first round pick, they've already set the price tag at a first. It's going to cost you probably more than a first, because the Niners are sitting there going, why in the world would we help you out for just a first round pick? Price just went up. It's like draft day. We live in a different world than we did on draft day.
Yeah.
Right? It's a different world now. It's going to cost you a little bit more. We want David Putney because we gosh darn feel like it.
Yeah.
And we're going to be able to get away with
David Putney would definitely help our special teams game.
That's for sure. Jag would be jumping up and down for joy right now. David freaking Putney. Just got to make sure the salary cap works, Got to crunch the numbers.
It'll work. We have a rookie pay scale. Quarterback on a rookie pay scale.
Gotta love that rookie pay scale. It's nice. Nice. It's good stuff. Butkus was an animal. Warner is a very fast animal. Warner is talented, my dudes.
Yeah. Definitely a different football game than it was when Butkus played.
Accurate.
Butkus was tremendous back then, and Warner's tremendous now and doing different type of things, that's for sure.
Way to dodge the comparison. Like
it's hard to compare people from different.
It's impossible. It's almost impossible.
Like even comparing Joe Montana to Tom Brady is just different.
Correct.
They're the best in their era, and it's completely different because, imagine they had all the protections that they have. This is just a conversation. Even the receivers, the fact that Jerry Rice was able to do what he did when they could physically mug you when you're trying to get down the field, and he was still able to have the numbers he had. It's like him in today's football, they wouldn't have been able to touch him.
Correct. It's accurate.
So, the comparison thing is really hard.
It is true. All right, chat. We're going to try and get close to wrapping this up here. So, questions for us. It's Q&A time. You need to start letting us know if you got any questions. We picked up a sub as well, so shout out to our new subscriber. We love you. We appreciate you. If you are here right now and you haven't subscribed yet to this channel,
boom,
do it. Right now is the time. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button too as well while you're down there. We got a buttload of content coming out from you between now and draft day. We got sleepers coming out. We got undrafted free agent targets coming out. We're going to break down who the 49ers could take at each pick. We've already covered all the way up through 117. We still got everything else coming out through the rest of the draft. We got a linebacker special coming out next week, breaking down linebackers the Niners could target. We got a D-line episode coming out, which, in all honesty, now just kind of feels like a wash, because there's a good chance they won't go after any of these guys we're going to talk about. But it's nice for you to know who are some guys to keep an eye on, because who knows, right? I know the Niners made a bunch of interior D-line moves, and they signed a bunch of guys, but at the end of the day, Shanahan's going to do what Shanahan wants to do. Lynch is going to do what Lynch wants to do. And if they absolutely love one of the guys that we talk about, they could end up taking them, especially later in the draft.
Yeah, we're also going to be dropping our 49-player big board. So you guys can see who we think are the top 49 players, in the draft. And we're going to be doing a lot of other things. We're also going to drop a nice final mock draft the night before draft day. So that way you guys can see, and we have a doozy plan for that. We're going to put all the bells and whistles on that one.
You're not going to want to miss that mock draft. That mock draft is going to be a lot of fun. You're going to enjoy the heck out of it, because we're not going to have the PFF stuff up on the board for you, because we're going to be making a whole lot of moves that you're going to want to find out about. Maybe some trades, maybe trading away some players and some future capital as well.
Yeah.
You're going to want to be here for that one. That is going to be one heck of a one. We also still have our individual final 2.0 mock drafts coming out next week as well. So you're going to have everyone's take, whether it's myself, whether it's Ants, whether it's Horse, our collective. You're going to get every which angle that the 49ers could attack this draft. 4 different mock drafts next week to break down.
Yep.
And those aren't the highlights. Those are just part of content that's being released. You're going to have so much content, you're not going to know what to do with yourself. I mean, y'all are lucky. You're lucky. You're spoiled, man. You're spoiled.
I see Zave got the joke.
Congratulations. Congratulations, X. I'm proud of you, my dude. Glad that you finally showed up for a live stream.
Yeah, I took a break from Dragon Ball Z. I appreciate it.
Probably Dead by Daylight, in all honesty.
Oh, that's true.
We've been playing a lot of DBD lately.
It's true.
We know that Jimmy is healthy. We can win. Jag, we agree with you 100% there.
Yeah.
We should get 2 firsts we should have gotten 2 firsts for DeForest. No one was going to give a 2 firsts for DeForest Buckner.
I think the fact that you got that that pick 14. That's a huge value.
That was big.
What was it 13? 13.
It's 13.
They ended up trading back to 14.
Correct.
Okay.
One whole spot.
Yeah.
Dude, one whole spot. I'm going to sit pat with my mock draft. I mean, that's good, Gary. You should. You should. It was a good mock draft.
It was crazy.
It was a lot going on there.
Let's be honest. That was crazy just to see the picks he ended up with.
Yeah. I mean, you restocked literally like 3 years of draft picks in the first round.
Yeah.
It was pretty nuts.
Roger Goodell would have been like, no.
No, tampering. This is tampering. You can't do
We're
it.
going to have to check out this Gary guy.
Yeah, no, who's this dude? No, get him out of here. Get him out of here. PFF, fix your mock draft simulator. People can't be doing this. Can't be having this.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for all the draft stuff that's coming up, and especially for draft day.
Oh man, draft day is gonna be so much fun.
That we're gonna go on and we're gonna be live and we're gonna be hyped and it's gonna be exciting. And when that clock starts going, I mean the tension is gonna be palpable. It's gonna be nuts.
It's usually hot in this room.
Yeah.
I mean, the shirt may have to come off just because of the sweat building from the just the anticipation of pick 3.
Yeah. Just read the last name.
Nah, we're good. We're good, Tommy. Tommy, this isn't our first rodeo, sir. This isn't our first rodeo. You're not going to get us to say... I almost said it. You're not going to get us to say it.
X says he's with his girl. He doesn't want me to say what I want to say.
You don't want that, X. You do not want that at all whatsoever. But in all honesty, chat, anything for us? Anything else before we wrap this thing up and call it a night? Any questions?
Yeah, it's been a fun Friday night so far.
It's been a good one so far. We've enjoyed talking this down with you, breaking it down. We enjoyed the mock draft, getting the guys that we thought the Niners were going to go after.
Yeah.
This was less today. This mock draft was less about what we want the Niners to do and more of a focus on what we think the 49ers were going to do with their pick. Because in all honesty, the moves they've made and the moves they've been making just signal that the 49ers are standing pat and firm with their roster, and they're going to try and hit steals, essentially. They're just going to try and hit home runs with guys later, maybe potentially in the draft.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that we saw it go from our mock 1 to here. You know, just the fact how much it changed and which guys we valued and which guys we found and which guys we see for the 49ers and which guys we see that the Niners, really probably won't target. And just their moves alone changing the way a board changes.
Yep.
I mean, the board for the 49ers has completely changed as far as need. As far as if you're just getting best player available, you can do that easily, but...
You can?
Yeah.
Except
when they say teams draft best player available, it has a little bit of need. It's kind of where the need and the best player meet. It's not really just best player.
See, they don't just go like, who's the projected best guy and then take him?
I mean, could you imagine if you had pick 3 and pick 8 and you were like, oh, well, pick 3, we got, Zach Wilson. At pick 8, Mac Jones is here. We better take him. He's the best one on our board.
Wow, Tommy. Wow. Just wow. I mean, that just stings.
It's okay. It's all right.
To think we're gonna mod you. That's not gonna happen.
We'll find some way to survive.
Will Sudafed make the team? Probably not.
Yeah, I think it's gonna depend on who they draft. Which quarterback. I think it's gonna make a big difference. But I actually think that Sudfeld has just as good a chance or better than Josh Rosen.
I have a better chance of making the roster than Josh Rosen.
Think so?
No, I don't really think that. I can't back that up at all. The horse is not feeling well, y'all. He'll be back hopefully this weekend. Hopefully good to go. He's trying to make sure he's good to go for draft day.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be a long stream, my dudes.
Yeah. So basically, he started feeling not so great last Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
When we had the live stream, he was coughing and stuff. And then Friday, me and him went to a high school football game to watch some kids that used to play for us. And it was cold, and he got sicker. And then pretty much the next day, he had no voice.
Good news, it's not COVID.
No, it's not. No, it's not that. But I talked to him this morning. Still very limited voice.
Yep. Let's put it this way. Y'all just would have been distracted tonight. You just would have been, hi guys, and you would have been like, oh my gosh, who's this dude? Well,
he's hard to understand. He even said he's hard to understand. So hopefully he will be coming back in the near future. Well, hopefully whenever his voice. He said it's never lasted this long. He sometimes gets laryngitis, but
it's true.
It's never lasted this long.
So hopefully gets better soon. Yeah, we don't want him turning into John Laurinaitis. We don't want that kind of recipe. Exactly. We don't want that permanent. You know,
People power.
Good
none of
old
that.
people power. Will Mac Jones get a DUI on draft night? Tommy, my dude.
You know what? If I was his agent, I would not let him drive.
If I was his agent, yeah, no, for the rest of his career, probably.
Yeah.
Just make sure he's got an on-call, standby personal driver for the rest of his career because he's shown he will make some bad choices if you let him make them.
Yeah, he will.
That he will. No, hey, Jag, it's great to have you here in the chat tonight. We had a couple other guys. I think it was Mr. Daniels earlier as well. Some new names. X, I agree with you. He said do it, subscribe. I agree with that as well. The draft day live stream time is going to be as soon as the draft starts, which is 5 p.m. So we will be going live at 5 p.m. So you don't want to miss that. We'll probably put that stream up, the actual link to that stream up, maybe a day early, so that way you guys can set your reminders and you get your time to get in here and make sure you're here on time. Shout out to Dames Daniel was the guy. I was right on the name. Jerome Spratt as well, new guy in chat as well. We like seeing you. Niners all day, always good to see you, Gary.
Oh yeah,
like we said
every day. Those guys.
Yep, Caleb, good to see you as well, sir. Big Low Country coming in as well, Atlanta fan, giving us some love and support. We appreciate that. Everyone who's new to the channel, everyone who comes in, Alex Faulkner as well makes a lot of appearances. J.R. Meadows, you're a day one, my dude. J.R. Meadows is a day one bang bang. DMV bang bang Niner gang right there. We like and appreciate you being here, man. Everyone for coming out tonight. We appreciate it.
Of course, Tommy,
always.
We're still like
I'm a little sour that you're not gonna be here on draft day, man.
It's all right. Chap's a good guy.
He's good. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Anyway, Pacific time or specific time? Always specific time, never specific time. This was a fun stream. Had a blasty blast.
Yep, definitely.
Man, I'll tell you what. You guys got a lot of content coming up in the next few days. Next 6 days, essentially, up until draft day. We even got a video coming out for you on draft day morning.
Yep.
Because we love you so much.
Yeah, jump on it. Help us out. Share the video. All the videos that we put out. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, all that good stuff. We're trying to get to that 750 mark, and if we can get there, that'd be exciting. I think we can do it, especially with everyone helping out. We appreciate it, and just love having these conversations. I can't wait until we get to the draft and have a lot of really cool real-time conversations. It's
going to be a lot of fun on draft day. Hopefully a lot of things to celebrate, not just our 750, but Niner draft picks. Maybe some guys falling, maybe some Niners making some big-time moves and trying to scoop up a couple big-time players. Just going to have to wait to find out. 6 days away, and
almost.
we are now 17 subs away from 750. We're now Emmanuel Sanders away.
Juwan Jennings
as well. From Dante Pettis to Juwan Jennings / Emmanuel Sanders. Getting so close. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Yep. You know what time it is. Let's chalk another one up.
That's a good chalk right there.
Oh, yeah.
From the alley-oops at Keysar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than